The IPA Freesports Champions Cup pool is brought to you by Select Car Leasing.
Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the IPA Freesports Champions Cup 2018. It's week 11. We're back on Mondays at 7 o'clock. And we're in Wales. We're in Neath for week number 11. Stephen Jameson here with you, alongside current world champion Ben Davies for week number 11. Simon Ward taking on women's world champion Mika Rooney. Simon Webb taking on Zach Wilkinson. The winner of each will head into tonight's final to advance through to the next round. First off, Ben, a massive good evening to you. I hope you're doing well. You just enjoyed watching yourself in the credits there, I know. How are you doing?
Good evening. I'm doing great. Yes, I do get a little glimpse of myself there every week.
Have you been following the Champions Cup coverage? Have you been enjoying? I bet you can't wait to get involved now.
Yeah, religiously. I've been watching every week, and it's great. Especially last week with that monster shot Andrews pulled off to get through his final. That was a cracker. And like I say myself, I'm up next week in Solihull, so looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to that. This is going to be a really interesting game. We have got the current women's world champion, that's Mika Rooney, on the right-hand side, Simon Ward on the left. Now, I know for a fact, Ben, you know Simon very, very well. This was your opponent, of course, in that world final. And this is also the club where you practice as well here in Neath, so a real sort of personal touch for you here.
Yeah, this is my local club. And as you can see there, it's all recently done out, modern. It's a nice looking club. And like I say, with Simon, we have played many of ours over the years, and he's going to be a tough one to commentate on, because he's not doesn't do things naturally.
He's an unpredictable player, but a very, very talented one. And of course, Mika earned her place in the Champions Cup by winning her World Championship. It's their partner, Colette Henriksen, back in February. It's her break.
Then we've Dusrak there, maybe. Ball didn't come out too well.
No, it is a bit stuck. Doesn't leave Simon with the greatest lie at all. You can see that not too many balls pinging around, and gives us an interesting start to our first rack of the night.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an edgy start. Take Simon a little while to settle in, maybe.
Well, we have seen that a few times on this Champions Cup circuit, especially in the first game of the night. There's always a few nerves kicking around. Speaking to Mika before tonight's game, and she was saying she wished she had a little bit more time to prepare because it felt like it snuck up on her a little bit.
Well, she played on Freesports in the World, so she's had a little bit of experience, and I happened to watch that final, and she played really well, so it's interesting to see how she performs tonight.
Now, of course, you've got the unique position of being the world champion at the moment. We watched that on Freesports. Was that, in terms of coping with the pressure of being on TV, because obviously it's not been the case for the sport for a little while, being on TV, does it come with that little added extra pressure that you've got to deal with?
To be honest, yeah, it should do, but in the Worlds, I think I was in that zone where I managed to blank it all out, kind of thing, and looking back on it, I have thought to myself a few times, how have I managed to get that final finish in front of them cameras? But like I say, it's just when you're in that zone, you don't see anything around.
So I'm taking on an ambitious red up to the top of the table. It's a sticky start to this frame, but without doubt, you'd certainly rather beat reds in this scenario. But we can get it at the table.
All the Mika Rooney fans there in the background.
Yeah, she has brought her fan club with her, of course. And it's quite a few in here in Neath. It's a very popular club in this part of the world. as expected, it's a little bit of a tactical start to this frame.
Yeah, Simon's kind of forced her hand there to try and pop this yellow over the pocket, open his red. I think you might just see her trying to nudge it and leave it there. Yeah, just
Difficult little shot that, of course, with the black ball rules. The ball had to hit the cushion after contact, so it had to be precise. And of course, with the black ball rules, that pocket isn't totally out of the question for Simon. Skill shots are available. He can pop that yellow as long as he pots one of his own balls as well.
yeah, I think he's probably one of the best at skill shots that I've seen in the game. Nice shot there, just open his balls up.
That's Colette Henriksen, Mika's partner, and indeed her defeated opponent in the World Championship final. It was a very, very unique game, that.
I don't think there was many words spoken on that car journey on the way home.
How long did it take you to get a text back off Simon?
No, I bought my beer in the bar after, it was all good.
Yeah, I think you did own that one. It would have been mean to make him pay the bill on that one.
Right, he's got an outside chance here if he wants to put caution to the wind. I know the black's a little bit tough, but all the reds go, so he's got a bit of room to make something happen.
Yeah, it's just been a gradual process of freeing his reds up one by one almost, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think the red, you can see 3 in a row there, the 2 reds and the yellow. If he, where his cue's roughly there, if he leaves himself on the middle red into the top right hand corner as we look at the screen, he could maybe, if he leaves himself, gives himself an angle, he could split into it.
We did just hear the shot clock in action. Unique aspect to the Champions Cup. Goes with 45 seconds each to play a shot, and they get 1 extension per frame. Simon just used his to make sure he wasn't guilty of committing a foul, and instead of leaving himself there, he's opted to cannon into it. Is he happy with that?
No, it hasn't come out too great. He's still got a chance, but that's not how he would have wanted it to come out. He wants to just be careful that he doesn't get too far into potting and ends up getting stuck because you get frozen out of the frame.
We might just have to look at moving into those 2 reds in the middle of the
I'm not sure if he
table.
can screw off this red straight into it. There's no guarantees to be on anything after it. Didn't get the pace into it.
Looks like the one to the right as we look at it does go up to the top of the table with the white ball the way it is. It's a very, very tough shot.
Yeah, I think it will go. He's running out of options to get the black out. One option if he gets this into the corner. No, I think he's missed.
He has indeed.
I think the option he could have had there, he could have played either off the bottom red and then thin and come off the back cushion, knocked into the black, or as you can see there, the angle he's got on the red in the centre, he could have cut that in and gone into it. It's given Mika a chance though to get back in the frame.
It has, because all of a sudden with a few more reds off the table, the yellows don't look as bad as they perhaps did.
Not quite sure she can cut this top yellow over this pocket. No, she played I think she played a good shot. Not sure she's left the gap.
Just wonder if he can sneak that through with a little bit of sweat. It's very, very tight.
Yeah, that looks really tight. Not sure how good ref Hugh will have his eyes on this.
Always eagle-eyed. It looks like he's going to try and play the ball at the bottom of the table. If he hits it, he's got a decent chance of potting it. There it goes. Lovely shot.
Yeah, it's a great shot there. Still a lot of work to do, but what he can do is it's a great pot.
He's had to play that with side as well. He's played that very, very nicely.
If he can clear the 2 reds at the top end of the table, like he's going there, and leave himself an angle on the red into the centre, he can stun into the 2 yellows to the right of the black there, the top yellow, and then he leave himself the black into the centre.
It looks like that is his tactic. That's play the last shot with rakes of side to hold the white at the top of the table. He's managed to do that really well. But one thing I noticed whenever I've watched Simon play is, despite how in control you think he should be, he never looks happy with himself.
Yeah.
He's left himself the wrong side of the red there. He definitely won't be happy with that.
No, he's run out of position there. He's got to play a tough, similar kind of shot, but he's got to go up and down and try and make it happen now, which is asking a bit much. But this is Simon we're talking about, and nothing's safe when he's on the table.
Oh, absolutely. All people can vouch for that. Whilst you did get the win over him in that world final, took it to the very, very final frame. That was even a match as you could possibly have. This is a tough shot.
I think he's trying to play on the double. I think he might be just okay there. It's tight. I think he wanted to be a bit lower so he could have cut it back. That looks really tight. He might have to play a treble.
He's ramping his cue up.
No, he's
what a
got
great
it.
shot. Well, you mentioned he's got a knack for being able to get himself out of trouble in tricky situations, and that was demonstrated beautifully there.
One thing I've learnt over the years from playing against Simon, never expect you get another shot until he's actually missed and the balls have stopped.
Well, this is what he's been up to in the last, give or take, 12 months or so. He's had a great time of it, especially in the World Championships, when he had a wonderful run all the way to the final, where he was narrowly beaten by yourself, of course. And he's been in good form as well in the Welsh and Scottish Opens in recent times too.
Yeah, he won the Welsh Open, didn't he? Just after the Worlds, when I beat him in the final, he went straight to the next event and won it.
Yeah, we won't mention how you went in the Welsh Open.
No, we'll skip that one.
Yeah, we'll stick to the Worlds, mate. Don't worry about that.
It's a massive break there.
Yeah, it's one of his greatest weapons, the break.
Definitely is.
One of the strongest on the tour. And you can see there the spread is massive.
That last red that's just rolled over the centre pocket, if that didn't land there, then them yellows are formality. But now that red's on the centre pocket, he's got a little bit of work to do. But if the red passes the yellow into the top left corner, I think he'd probably take reds. Yeah, I think it does.
It's one of those where, because the balls are so split, there's no real right or wrong choice.
No. Should be formality now. Just take this red in the centre, the one down the rail. And then whichever way he sees best to go around the last 3.
It does look like that red just sneaks past the yellow into the top corner.
Yeah, it will go. He wouldn't have taken reds, I think he would have taken the yellows if that didn't go. He would have been, he'd wanted to get a little bit closer than that though. Left himself a little bit of distance there if it is tight.
Just drops it in.
Yeah, he used all the pocket there. Just sneaks in off the near jaw. Joys of the new tables. You get that little slide off the jaw.
Wouldn't have dared play at any more pace than that.
No, that would have stayed up. Anyway, centre of the table now, give himself a shot at the black.
Yeah, it should be a formality here. Solid start from Simon Ward. Difficult first frame.
Frame Simon Ward.
Good finish.
And has been followed with a rather routine looking break and dish. He can do that. I think it's important from Mika's perspective that she doesn't get too down about that. Simon Ward will do that to literally anyone.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, there's not a lot you can do about that.
This is what we've seen so far in the Champions Cup. This is the last 64, so this is all of our first round games, week by week. Mark Farnsworth there at the very top was in our first week in Washington. Right in the middle there, Neil Rayburn and Drew Hughes making it through to last week's final in Chester. I know you watched that one with great interest. Terrific performance from Drew to get the win there.
Yeah, superb. He's always had it, and he's a really good player, Drew. It's just getting it out of him, just having the self-belief and the confidence, you know. And the last couple of months, it really seems as if he's coming into his own, which is nice to see.
Well, he credited an awful lot to getting his old cue back. It's his lucky cue, apparently. Been a year without it.
If it works, it works.
He played some magic shots on his way through to the win there.
Another bad split. Not sure if she didn't catch them right. It looked like the ball bounced.
It's a better break than the first, but still a bit sticky for Mika. Not the biggest spread. And again, ends up dry. Second in a row. Yeah, not the most obvious of lies, but it looks like reds are the option.
Yeah, they'd be the option. But like you say, there's nothing obvious. What he can do is he can. I think he would have liked to run a little bit further than where he is there and try and get straight on the one in the centre. Because if you can see you can just plant the red onto the edge of the yellow there. You can see over the pocket. So, and as long as he leaves himself an angle, he can go into the red that's tied up below the black. And still leave the red over the pocket. But I think he's got the wrong angle there, so he's going to have to go up table first. Or maybe a 3-ball plant. Maybe they plant. The 3 below the black.
Can I have a second guess, Simon Ward? Have to list off the full ream of options. You can never quite tell what he's thinking.
Well, that's the thing. You always give yourself options. But you'd never. It's very rare you play one route. You would plan one route, but you'd always have another route in case that one route doesn't go to plan. That's why I always say play into areas. And the way he's played that, it looks like he could be coming down for a 3-ball plant. Could completely opt to leave them where they are. Looking at that screen on the overhead, the tight red. No, I think he's playing on the plant. I say the tight red, it does go to the top right corner, but it's a little bit tricky.
Yeah, he's jawed the white. I think that's actually come off quite nicely for him. He may be looking at the plant. He's just having a line up of it. I think he might be taking this on.
It's not far off. The only thing with this is no guarantee where the red's going to end up. Could end up safe in amongst them yellows. Just pushed it right.
Wasn't easy. A rare miss from Simon Ward, but this is, by the same token, a very tough table to come to if you're the yellows here.
Mika hasn't had a lot to go at the minute, so can't really say how she's playing because she hasn't really had a chance to have a go on anything. It'd be nice for her to have a chance to get her arm going, to maybe she settle in and get a few frames on. Try to play snooker there. Still hasn't left a great deal. Might just see Simon bump this red out. This tied up down the bottom right hand corner.
But
I think he wants to knock this red out and the other red, but I'm not sure he can do it. He might just have to settle for the one red.
he's changed his mind at least twice.
Yeah, he's opted for the one. Just freeze it out.
He's played under the pressure of the shot clock there. And it's the first time that someone's had to deal with the beeping noise, which could be a distraction if you've never played under it before. He always seems to have settled pretty nicely with it.
Yeah, the beauty of the shot clock is sometimes it doesn't even come into effect because the finishers are there and you know what you're doing, but on them little sticky situations where you need that extra time, kind of forces your hand.
It makes you make that decision.
Yeah, more often a mistake. She's got a chance here, Mika. She can double the yellow nearest the red below the black. She can double it across to try and get this pocket where she's queuing over now. No, she was not.
I don't think that's actually come out too badly for Mika there.
It's a containing safety shot, but I think you might just see Simon bump the red out over the centre. Or, you know, he's got an option. I think he can cut the red he's closest to thin and bump the yellow out if he wants to put all the eggs in the basket and go for it. But I think you might just see him nudge the red out. So all the reds are in play. Doesn't want to leave Mika a chance to get a skill shot though.
Already now in play, but that yellow may just block the route to the pocket.
Yeah, he just had a little bit of luck there. If that yellow didn't land there, Mika could have bottomed this one in the bottom right corner and screwed the white over into it. I think Simon could be in trouble next shot though. She can play tight snooker, Mika can up the top here.
Nice shot.
Time to get a map out for that one.
Well, that's a lovely shot from Mika, because this is, well,
I'd rather him than me. He's pretty good, he's a big shot maker, so I'm sure he'll have something in the locker.
looks like at least 2 cushions. 3.
Oh, wow.
That is a brilliant shot. He's done so well just to hit anything there.
That's a great shot.
But the nature of the escape doesn't mean Mika is at the table with a bit more control than she did have before.
Yeah, she's got a chance now to... I'm not sure she's got the angle now straight away, but she has got opportunities now to get into this pocket over here and play the skill shot. I think she's playing safe again. No, she chose to attack. I don't think that came out the way she would have liked it to.
I think that yellow needed to be more of the middle pocket for the perfect scenario there.
Yeah, so she could have just played off it then and down into the yellow and red over the pocket. But the yellow that we see to the bottom left hand corner of our screen now, if she can get herself an angle on that, she can pot that and then screw across into the red on the pocket. That'll give her control of the frame.
Might well have that angle now.
Yeah, I think that looks just about perfect. Yeah, that's perfect.
Well, this is the nature of the skill shot. Yellow into the bottom right, red into the bottom left. That's what she's looking for.
Oh, she's taking her eye off the pot. You gotta make the pot.
And with that, the angle wasn't there for red to go either. She's disappointed with that.
Yeah, she had a big chance there. Maybe not to win the frame at that visit, but definitely to get back control of the frame.
Control now is very much in Simon's hands. Just squeaked past that black.
Yeah. I would have been skipping a few beats there for a second. I think the black goes in the centre.
Where's that white ball going?
Wow.
Speaking of hard skipping a few beats.
Nothing simple as Simon. He couldn't just go off the top cushion straight back down. You had to put all that side on. Look, nearly goes in off in the centre.
Well, this is why your final was so great to watch. She rolls that one in.
Tricky little one into the centre. This needs to cue it well.
Oh, he's missed it. Wow.
He jumped up off that straight away. He knew he missed it. Don't know
Good
if
chance this for Mika to get a frame on the board.
Don't know if it maybe slid off his tip.
It's a tough shot with the queuing.
Yeah, tough. He should be getting that though. Straight in the tactical battle. She wants her 2 shots to get that bad yellow off the line, I think, before she goes game.
I think it's a good sign that Mika's thinking pretty clearly. Definitely thinking about it.
You don't want to be giving Simon another shot though. Doesn't matter where the balls are. Anything could happen.
That is a man speaking from significant experience. That's a move. I tell you what, any harder.
Yeah, it was on
That
route.
might have well ended up in the middle pocket.
Come on, Mika. Here's your chance. Get a frame on the board.
All there for her. The one on the rail towards the top of the table is by far the most difficult. And there's the frame right there, as it were.
Yeah, I'm not sure she played for. Oh, she has played for the one in the centre, but she would have wanted a bit more angle on this, I think. Big shot now, top right corner. Stun across the rail. Lovely part.
Beautifully played.
That's a lovely shot.
It's perfect as well.
She needed something like that to settle her in a little bit, I think. Struck that with confidence.
I think that's sometimes all it takes, isn't it? Just to relieve that little bit of pressure. You noticed how quick she was down to the table to play the second shot after the tough one up to the top right.
Yeah, definitely. The long one to the top right. That definitely would have done her good. Just keep it basic here. Stun across, take the black into the centre. Yeah, she's fine. Thought she kind of hesitated for a second there, Q&A. It's a good finish. Ooh, can you hear the crowd?
Her fan club is delighted. Well, that will be a real nerve settler because, as we've seen so far in the Champions Cup,
This is a great shot. Look how much, she's not much room for more error there with the centre pocket looming. She's played a great shot there.
yeah, beautiful play. As I say, actually, we have seen a few matches in first rounds where players haven't got going and have just seen themselves wiped away by some of the better players. We'll take a look at the 6-0 for Ronan McCarthy being the perfect example of that, really. Stuart Wright by no means a bad player, but as soon as Ronan was in and amongst them, Stuart just couldn't get going. That would have been, it's always the fear, isn't it, when you go into a race to 6, that if you don't get going, it's over before you can blink.
Yeah.
Nick will be delighted to get one on the board.
2 dry breaks, you can find yourself 4-0 down in no time. Like you say, first to 6.
4-3.
It's a big ask from there. It's that beautiful trophy.
Fancy getting your hands on that?
The wife's already made room for it, she told me.
Big break in from Simon.
Yeah, it's a really nice break.
This will be the big difference between the two players. It is on the break. Simon very, very powerful with it.
As you can see the difference there with Simon's 2 breaks and Mika's 2 breaks. Like them rides are good to go. He should be getting these. And the last break, I think he broke this his last one as well. Like with Mika's break, even if she did pot the ball, it wasn't an easy finish. She still had a lot of work to do.
Yeah, the first in particular was very, very sticky. But as we mentioned in the last frame, getting a frame on the board will be absolutely massive. We'll set on those. We'll just free up that Q arm on the break a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Because he's Simon straight in on this red, so I think he will be taking this to the bottom right. So open up. If he can screw, maybe he can't screw straight back.
And again, he's keen not to use his extension unless he has to.
I didn't think one of them two could go in that top right corner. Clearly it goes if he's landed there.
That's a prime example of the shot clock forcing the hand.
Simon slowed down quite a lot over the last couple of years. He used to be a really fast player. He's not slow by any means, but he used to be a lot quicker. Make less mistakes when you slow down, I guess.
I was about to ask, has it coincided with his improvement as a player, do you think, as well?
Yeah, it probably has. A bit more experience as he's got a little bit older, a bit wiser. I think if he plays the red into the top right and then takes the one over the bottom right and uses the yellow just above it that we can see here, just to hold the white, that should give him perfect angle on the ball across the rail. Well, it's going a different way.
Just drop that in very nicely.
I think he's going to try and stun this one in. There you can see there now. Leave himself on the one over the pocket, take the one across the cushion last. I think he'd be just okay. He's looking at the angle where he needs to be.
Yeah, slightly deceptive on this main camera.
Yeah.
Just to sneak through. You can screw back from one down the rail.
A little bit straight. I think he might have to take the black into the centre now. Unless he fancies playing it with, as Dan Davey would say, rakes of right hand side and come around off 2 rails. Don't think he's going to be playing that, surely.
We can see where his cue is hitting the ball. I think he might be.
Just kind of played half of nothing there. Like he didn't really make his mind up before he got down to play it. Stuck in 2 minds and played half of both.
Yeah, you can see he definitely played it with right hand side, but nowhere near enough. I think he looks like he's almost confused himself.
Yeah, he's trying to think, what did I just do? Let's give Mika another chance here. It's not easy, but it's more than what she had a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah, just fully caught in two minds. Plain ball would have left him a shot, maybe more difficult than he would have liked, but he will have had to play it with an awful lot of side to get it round.
Yeah.
He just didn't play it enough.
I think he wanted to play around, but he kind of thought, I can't really get it, because he would have had to play the red a lot more pace, and at that pace there's a good chance that it's not going to go in. So the shot was to just run it through and play the black into the centre, but he's obviously taken his eye off the pot. Has she covered it? Oh, I think she might have left that.
Well, it's close. That's the one thing you would say.
Toes to the cold, timer in.
It's a total, but I think he can just get it off the cush with a bit of side, maybe.
Well, you can see where the red is. He doesn't have to hit a lot of it, and he is going for it pretty quickly.
Yeah, there you can see how you can get him side.
There he is.
A big chance slip there, Mika.
Is that just a case of being a little bit too cautious?
Yeah, I think she's playing a little bit negative. I think she needs to come out and attack a bit more, because well, you see when she actually went for the finish in the last frame, she got the finish. So she can pot the balls. I think she just needs to have a bit more confidence and attack a bit more.
Simon moves into a 3-1 lead. This is the breaks that we were mentioning, Ben. This is the breaks in order. This is Mika's first break, and as you can see, very, very sticky. And you contrast that with the power of Simon's. Just look at how many balls on the move. It really does make such a difference.
Yeah, if you notice the difference there, when Simon broke, the white came straight back up the middle of the table. So that's showing that he's hit the top ball, smack on the centre. And if you look at the last break of Mika's, the white came to the side rail straight away. So that's showing that she didn't catch the pack full on, which wouldn't have given her the better split like Simon's had, because he's really not getting the full momentum through the pack.
Well, Mika does prefer the cross break, which is interesting in saying that she's switched
going straight
immediately
down
to the middle.
So we see if she hits his head on, yeah. Nah, see if she goes to the side. Still a much better split, but not as big as what it could have been.
We can see that the white jumped straight up in the air. She's got plenty of power into it. But it's certainly her best break so far. It's definitely improving. And the thing with the cross break, it has to be absolutely spot on for it to be effective.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that side breaker. I say they should ban it.
Well, you would say that with the amount of cue power that you've got. It certainly favours you to smack it straight down the middle, right?
No, some people have got it down to a T, that the side break, and it does really work for them. The balls tend to split a little bit different to what they would if you hit them down the centre, but like I say, if it works for you, then don't change it.
Well, it seems to be the way that it seems to be whatever's in vogue at the time. Almost like formations in football, whichever seems to be fashionable at the time seems to be the way. And as we can see from Mika in this frame, quite often, if it's not working for you, well, we'll just try the other way.
Yeah, I've done it myself. Sometimes I keep getting dry break after dry break and switch it up, try something different. Usually going off then.
The good thing for Mika is she's at the table after the break, and it's always the most important thing. And it's not the easiest, but it is a chance.
Yeah, she's got a lot of work to do here. I don't think it goes the red below the black. I don't think that goes into the left centre, but it might sneak into this bottom right corner if she can. If she can move the red closest to the bottom right corner to free the way for that red below the black.
Yeah,
No, it
Doesn't look like it. The yellow will just get in the way.
So, I think she's going to try and split it out. She might be a little bit too thin there. Time will tell.
Look at the angle she needed off the cushion. Big shot this.
No,
and straighten off.
If she was kind of rocking back and forth then on the shot, and she didn't, with his nerves, or she looks a little bit nervous. She didn't get into the white like she needed to. I'm not sure it helps with it. They got it on the big screens around the venue, so she can see exactly what's going on.
Well, it works two ways. You get to admire your good shots, but you also get a pretty quick reminder of your bad ones as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's slightly delayed when it's been beamed up and around satellites, so you always get a pretty much instant replay as soon as they take a seat. I noticed in Solihull when we had a similar situation, Jack Whelan spent much of the time after he'd sat down either admiring or hating his own shots.
Yeah, I'm sure he enjoyed his interview though. Seemed a bit confident. Simon's landed a bit awkward there, but I think he should still get this yellow into the centre, past the black. Once that goes, and then everything's free. He was small pocket. I think he might need to nudge the black out a little bit. Maybe that doesn't go. Well, he's got a yellow right next to it, so that shouldn't really be a problem. You see him come down in this big kind of circle of an area he's got below where his elbow is. And go down that area. Gives him options of 4 balls. The other route all depends on whether the black goes or not. If the black goes, then he just go around them without moving anything. But if the black doesn't go, then he'd probably go a totally different route where he's got to move it.
Well, he does, if he wanted to move it, the yellow into the middle would probably give him the angle to come off the cushion into it.
Yeah, you won't want to go into it and risk not guaranteeing being on another ball. So he'd only move it if he's guaranteed to be on another ball. So ideally he'd want to leave one of these yellows near the bottom right, or I think he's tried to get on in there, but he's gone a little bit too far. But the black looks like it goes from that camera angle. It's a bit hard to see. At worst, he could play a double on the black. He's just smiling there. He's trying to figure out how he's going to get on. I don't think the black goes. He's trying to figure out how he gets to the point to move the black. No, we see there.
Is that red?
Doesn't go. He's going to try and land on it, yeah. This is his last chance. No, it's too soft. He's trying to land low on the yellow there, so he could play it into the top left of the screen as we can see it, and just nudge the black. I think you could see him playing a double now on the black.
He had a great one earlier on in the match to
Yeah.
win the first round.
He's not really a fan of doubles, but he gets his fair share. It's a good shot. Dilemma, yeah. He landed perfect to screw into it. Does he screw into it, or does he play on the double?
What would you choose here if you had the choice?
I'm not one for taking risks. I'd play on the double. I think he's screwing into it, though. He's looking there. You want to catch the two of them at the same time, so he kind of pushes the black towards the middle.
How much the risk is he on it? I think he's just okay.
Simon Ward, of course he's on it.
You can sense the bitterness in your voice there, Ben. Just be careful. That's a lovely shot, though, from Simon, who has a bit of a puff of the cheeks. I think he knows he got away with that a little bit there. But some great work from Simon Ward, who heads us into the break 4-1 up. Join us in a minute.
The IPA Freesports Champions Cup pool is brought to you by Select Car Leasing. The IPA Freesports Champions Cup pool is brought to you by Select Car Leasing.
Welcome back to South Wales. We are in Neath for the IPA Freesports Champions Cup 2018. It's week number 11. And our first match of the night, Simon Ward taking on Women's World Champion Mika Rooney. It's 4-1 to the Welshman, and he's got the break as well. But for the first time this evening, he's going to come up dry. Now this is where Mika really has to make this pay, because with the nature of Simon's break, he's going to leave a spread when he doesn't get one in. And I'm joined by current world champion Ben Davis, who certainly profited from a few of those in the world final win over Simon. This is where you've really got to punish.
Yeah, you need to make the most of these, and these are the chances that she hasn't really had a lot of. She's had one maybe, and she's had two. Sorry, she took advantage of one, she didn't the other. But this is where she needs to take advantage. She goes straight into a bad ball here. I think she just asked for the white clean, maybe. Steady hands there. Yeah, this is if you can see bottom right here, the yellow near the red, that's a problem ball, so to speak. Once she frees that, should be pretty straightforward, so she's going straight into a problem area straight away, which is the right thing to do, because you've got many balls to fall back onto.
Yeah, she's called her extension, which is quite a popular tactic, to call it ahead of your first shot of the frame.
She doesn't need to go into it, but I think it's the best option. Yeah.
Yellow's in play.
Played that well.
Pretty
Touch
pleased with that.
unfortunate, if anything. A bit unlucky to leave the white there, but she has got options.
Yeah, she's going for the slightly awkward queuing.
Not sure if this is the right shot. She played it really well.
That's a terrific shot, because well, it sounds a bit churlish to mention, but if it's, say, Simon playing it well over 6 foot, that's a lot easier than for someone of Mika's height. It was difficult.
Yeah, I struggled myself. I haven't got the tallest of fingers, so bridging, I really struggle.
Oh, don't miss the simple one.
Just taking her right off the pot there.
And you can see by her facial expression, she is so disappointed to miss that.
Yeah, she'll be kicking herself there.
It nearly wobbled in as well, it really did.
It's just one of them, when they're too easy, you don't give it enough attention. And I think that's what's happened there. She just pushed it towards the knee jaw.
It's one of those where she'll know there was no excuse whatsoever to miss that.
Yeah,
It was a bit close to black, but the potting angle wasn't anywhere near it, really.
It's not straightforward though for Simon yet. I think he's got... Or maybe it is if the two reds we can see together at the top, if the bottom one goes into the corner. Looks like it does actually.
Now, when Simon was warming up on this table before we came on air, he had about 4 or 5 of these exact shots down the rail. Took him a little while to get his eye in, but he's had a lot of practices at that one.
Yeah, he's
Exact shot.
played that well. Just needs to mind his work a little bit here, because he's got a little bit of traffic. There's a few yellows and the black in his way. I think if he lands anywhere near the black, he'd be happy. So ideally come through the gap between the yellow and the black.
Just got to be sure he gets through the wall, as it were.
Played it with a touch aside, but that was the only problem. Played it aside. You're bringing that ball into play. I think
Toes on the court. Time running.
I'm not going to say he played the wrong shot. I think he should have played my shot.
In a number of words, you think he played the wrong shot.
No, just give himself a little bit more to do. Because if he goes towards the black, he takes this yellow out to play. And coming this way, also, he brings into play. Won't be surprised if he bots this, though.
No, he doesn't. And Mika might get a reprieve.
Yeah, she needs to make this count. It's tough opening yellow into the centre. But if she knocks this in, then she should be away.
You can't afford any more errors.
She just needs the confidence now and just play her shots. It's a great pot. Yeah, she played that well.
Little tap of the knee from Simon in the corner as well. Good shot that from Mika Rooney.
She's a lot better player than what she's shown so far. Obviously the nerves. As she gets settled in and get some finishing under her belt.
I mentioned towards the start of the match, did have a quick chat with Mika before we came on it. Did mention she was certainly feeling a little bit nervous. She was excited, for sure, but the nerves were certainly there. Doesn't look too happy with that shot. She might think about rerouting.
Yeah, it's not ideal, but she's still got plenty of options. She could play the yellow in the bottom left and just soft stun to take the yellow near the black into the right centre, or she could play the yellow into the left centre as we look at it and come around for the yellow near the black in the right centre. I think she's tried the soft stun. That's not too bad, she should be okay now. She would have wanted to be a little bit closer to her work, but she should be okay.
Just has to be precise. Missed one in the near jaw earlier on. That's
Yeah,
ball
it's
in
good
the
pot.
pocket.
Can you hear the Mika Rooney fans getting a bit excited?
Couldn't be a more straightforward finish.
Getting ready for the big cheer.
Dead on.
There it goes. Oh, we got what a Welsh flag edge in the background there, have we? A bit of red and a bit of green going on there. True support.
You can see Mika is certainly enjoying herself. And this is the last 32, so this is essentially every final we've seen so far. There's not been many whitewashes. In fact, the only two that we've seen came in the first 2 weeks by Mark Farnsworth and Ronan McCarthy. And we're actually saying off air in the break there, but it's almost as the tournament itself has just warmed up. It seems to be getting more and more competitive as the weeks have gone by.
Yeah, absolutely. I think people
I'm so pleased we're in week 12, eh?
Yeah, this was a good. Well, I've got a tough group. I've probably got one of the toughest groups, but it was a good thing about playing that far on. You haven't got to wait long for the next round if you do get through.
Yeah, Mark Farnsworth was in our very first final all the way back in week number 1. Seems like a very long time ago now.
Yeah, it does seem a while ago.
Making the break straight down the middle again. Again, didn't get into it as much. And just saw a reaction there immediately. She was annoyed, but she has made a ball, which is the most important thing. Which is
Yeah, they're not going very much, are they?
work to do is the operative phrase, I think. It.
Yeah, there's a lot of work to do here. I think maybe yellows. Or reds, actually. She could pop the one across the bottom rail, screw back to leave an angle on where we can see the three together, the yellow in the middle of the two reds, the red to the left. She can leave an angle on that into the centre to drift the white into the gap between the red and the black. That's the only way I can see that she could get this finish on reds. But it's a big ask, it's not easy, by all means.
Yeah, it's that prime example. We saw it earlier on when we took a look at all 4 breaks as they were at the time. And the whites at this end of the table after a break, you always know. But it looks like yellows are the choice.
Yeah, I didn't think that went. I thought it was tight to the black. That's opened it up.
Loading pot.
Yeah, that's opened it up.
I just wonder if she can put these two to the right. I think every ball might have a pocket because I think the yellow closest to the black will then go to the bottom right.
Yeah, I think the only tricky one is the black. I'm not sure if it goes into this. bottom left-hand corner. She needs to avoid the red, yeah, and watch she doesn't put the yellow safe. That's a good shot. She played that well.
Stuck a little bit to the cushion for the next one, but she won't mind it too much.
Doesn't have to do too much with the white after the next pot. She could run it through and nudge the red so the black goes into the bottom left corner. Just nudge the red a couple of inches.
I think that's what she tried to play.
Yeah, left it's a bit tricky. Awkward queuing.
I think she's just taking a look to see if that yellow's straight. If it's straight, is the option there to screw back. It's a horribly fiddly shot, but
I think she's up against that one, I think. It is a possibility, but...
See there, the cue's right up, Mickey on her tiptoes. Plays it well.
Yeah, it's not bad. She can cue the one into the top corner and run through. Or if she thinks she can... I know she's on the one to the centre, maybe she can... No, she can't push the white through. I think maybe she could... The one she's looking at there, I think maybe she could have pointed that to where her hand is into that centre and pushed the white through, but the red may go and cover the other yellow. Yeah, there. She might be able to get through there. Just topped it through. Big pot now.
Clock ticking.
Yeah. Added pressure. It's a great pot.
Playing really well.
Added pressure.
And every single shot getting a reaction as well.
Fair play. Brilliant. She's actually perfect now. It's a tough pot, but she just plays it plain ball. The white should drift across for the last yellow into the centre.
Something we noticed with Nika when we saw her win the World Championship. Now, once it was there for her, in terms of
Should play that well.
technique, don't know
Great
anyone.
pot.
Fine player. But it's just that element of perhaps confidence or self-belief at times. When it's there.
She seems to be letting her arm go a little bit now. This is a big pot. Big frame as well.
It is indeed. 3 tough shots to get into the black.
What a
She
pot
nailed
that
them
is.
all.
What a finish.
And it's some finish.
That's more like the Mika Rooney, I know. She can show in there that she can play. That's a great finish. Very good
Really
finish.
good.
So
This is the point where Mika can relax when she's not at the table. And big smile on her face. And she's right in this one.
yeah, she's seems to have settled in a bit now.
And this is next week from Solihull, not Twickenham as originally scheduled. There's been some flooding damage to the venue down in Twickenham, so we've had to reschedule. We're up in Solihull. Ben, you're delighted about that, so it saves you an hour in the car, but
Yeah,
how much are you
definitely.
looking forward to next week?
Yeah, looking forward to get out there and get involved. But as you can see there, it's by far the toughest group I think we've had so far. Oh gosh.
You would say that.
There's no nice games in that group.
Well, hasn't that been the really beautiful thing about the Champions Cup? The fact that, of course, your group is difficult, but there is no easy games. And I tell you what, Simon Ward is in danger of making a real meal of this, because watch that white ball, top right as we look at it, that's in. And as we mentioned in the last Simon Ward break, when it came up dry, these are the opportunities that you have to take. Mika's got a great chance to tie this up at 4.
I think we could be seeing a momentum swing here. This is the opportunity she needs to make the most of. when Simon makes a mistake, you need to punish it. If you don't punish it, then it won't really feel as if he's done anything wrong, because he's just going to get back to the table, and you need to freeze him out and make the most of this.
And this is her free shot and a visit. She's played that, I think, really nicely.
If the black goes, she's got a great chance.
I think it does.
See Simon looking on.
Sam's got a perfect view of whether that black goes. I think his facial expressions just told us.
Yeah, I think that the black does go. She's just got to be careful here. She doesn't push that red. She doesn't want to push the red back onto the side rail where she just knocked it off. If she takes the red she's closest to into the right centre, just wants to be careful she doesn't push the other red too far. Yeah, she's played it with extra pace to make sure. She's been a touch unlucky there, because I think it's covered the path for the red at the top right.
Yeah, there's no way you can really legislate for that, where exactly that red's going to finish. A couple of options. She has got maybe got the double to the one that's left of the white.
I think she can cut it back into the centre. It's a thin one, but she's guaranteed with the red over the pocket to have another ball after it.
Oh, and there it goes.
It's a great shot. Oh, she's been unlucky. I think she can get through to the one on the hole.
So it's a really thin cut. I think she can sneak around, sneak through.
She's not having much run at the ball. I think if she can see the one on the pocket, maybe she can go just cush first slightly, and then create the angle to come around and get the white out of there.
She's just asked for extension.
I think she has. She better hurry up. She's actually
time pressure. She's played that so well.
Actually played a great shot. I think what she done there, she asked for an extension to get, not extension, she asked for a timeout to get the extension for her cue. And obviously you can't have a timeout to get the extension. You need to have it next to you at the table. And she should have asked for an extension. President has come out perfect for her.
And considering,
Or maybe she's used an extension.
Considering the time pressure on that shot, she's absolutely nailed that. Good chance to tie things up.
Slightly over-screwed that one. It's not too bad though. She needs to jack the cue up a little bit on this one in the centre and step it back just an inch or so. Not that high. Gee, oh gosh.
That's a real jack up, isn't it?
Yeah. She's a little bit too high the first time.
Oh, would you believe it?
God, I got one of them with the Worlds, didn't I?
You did.
Straight in and back out. Oh, that's unlucky.
She genuinely looks stunned.
Yeah, oh no, she's gutted. That's actually gone straight in and straight back out.
It's in and out. It's incredibly unfortunate. And I think the only thing that's caused it, if we just take another look at this,
It's the extra pace.
it's the extra pace, because she had to ramp it up
Yeah,
and just jump the white into it.
yeah, that's all it is that extra pace.
The most remarkable thing about that is whilst we see it's rare, but we do see it middle pocket more than any other. Oh, Simon got it off. No, he hasn't. He thought he had. But this is the interesting one. We sometimes see balls jump out the pocket. We seldom see them dip down to then come back out.
It's at that certain pace. If you hit it any harder or any softer, it probably goes in. If you hit it at that perfect pace, it just laps around the pocket and comes straight back out.
It was half down the hole. Incredible.
Such a big frame as well.
Where's the margins, eh?
I think Simon's
Let's
starting
take
to.
one final look at this.
See the white bounces. That had a big part to play with it as well. This is not perfect. I think I might be feeling it a little bit here. Mika's starting to put pressure on him a bit.
This is a big frame as well. Because it goes without saying that 4-4 is a massive difference to 5-3.
Yeah, very big difference.
And someone misses that shot.
I'm not sure if that red passes that yellow into the centre. The one she's looking at now.
Taking a good look.
Might just creep in off the phone, Joe. The white's doing some travelling though. There you can see it goes into half a pocket. So she's just worried about the white. Oh, she's screwing it. Tough shot.
Okay, perfectly. Pretty good.
That's a great shot. Let's play that one.
Again, talk about the run of the ball. Ended up on the cushion again. These are the tiny, tiny inches.
This isn't too bad as long as she doesn't play it at the pace where she can snooker herself behind the yellow on the left hand middle pocket. She wants to play with just enough pace where if she does go into the yellow, that she moves it and she's still on the black. She could use it as a stopper. See that pace? It's going to go behind it. Oh, she's just okay.
Just okay.
I thought she would sneak behind that yellow then.
Oh, this is a big shot. It really is.
You'd say she kind of deserves the chance after that ball popping out to the centre, but this is not easy.
Mika and her supporters would say justice would be served if this went in.
That's a great shot. Oh, they're getting excited.
It's 4 apiece.
Oh gosh.
He's world champion.
Simon's going to be in a world of pain.
He's got a great chance. This is how close she came to nearly having it.
Look at that white bounce.
Take a look at how much that goes in to then come back out.
Straight in the centre. The other funny thing is if she misses it just off centre, either way, it probably goes in. It's just because she hit it perfect. And at that certain pace.
Do often say it must be the most frustrating thing in the world at times being a pool player.
Certainly when things like that happen, because you've played a great shot and then completely out of your hands. You're sitting back in your chair and your opponent's got a chance.
What Mika's done brilliantly in the last few frames is she's really punished Simon's break. There was one dry, there was one in off, and she's punished them both. What she could really use here is a big break of her own.
Yeah, she needs a big break here.
Punches it in.
Not much of a split again.
And it has come up dry.
Simon's got to get these for me.
And you say not much of a split. That yellow on the move actually towards the end actually caused a pretty decent split. What it didn't cause is the ball to go down.
Yeah, it opened him up a bit.
It was open the table for Simon. And I think he'll just be relieved to have a chance to have a fairly comfortable break. He's not had him for a few frames.
No, we see him go red, yeah. And he needs to get this frame on the board after Mika finishing the last two.
Simon ended into breaking this one, 4-1 up. Mika's in 3 on the spin.
Don't think that went to plan, but he's still okay.
Simon can win this frame. Or leave him breaking for the match.
Just needs a good white gear now off this shot, and then should be pretty straightforward. I think you see him screw down to the top left rail as we look at it on the screen, just below the top middle pocket. Straight on the one into the red into the centre, closest to the screen, close to us, yeah.
Wiped its feet. Didn't get into that as much as he wanted to either, I don't think.
No, he's kind of stabbed an eye, he hasn't queued through it. He's left this under the right now. I think he's feeling the pressure a little bit. I don't blame him with all that crowd waiting to pounce as soon as you miss.
Well, considering he's playing in his home country, his home club, it's a rather partisan crowd against him.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, most of them girls are Welsh. That's a great shot. Played that well.
Well, the beauty, of course, with the black ball game is that, as opposed to maybe some other cue sports, you've got the red dots on the white, which just show you how much spin he played on that.
Yeah, you can see him. He'll be just trying to pot this now and drift the white through the gap of the yellows there. He'd want to be straight on the red into the centre, ideally. You just got to watch though he doesn't catch it too thick and go towards the two yellows together. We can see on the right there. That looks good. A little bit short, but he should still be okay here. Might see him take the one into the bottom left first and come off this back rail with a touch of side between the yellows, drift the white back out. Just looking to see if he's going to miss the yellow on the back rail. I think he should be okay.
The last thing he wants to do is end up snookered.
It's all about the pace. Oh, he uncued that well. He got there though. Looked like he stunned that rather than queuing through it. Could be a big help if the black goes past this yellow in this pocket. Still finds him to clear it, but it'll be a lot easier if it goes in the right pocket.
Sneaks the red in.
No, it doesn't go. He's okay. He ain't gonna worry about the white ball here. It's going straight into the yellow, so he can focus 100% on the pot. You can see a right smile there. He's feeling a little bit.
Just to stop the rot. Missed it.
Wow.
Missed it.
Wow. You can see him smiling there, but he'll be kicking himself inside.
Sorry. Even tossing the yellow as well. Which would have been fine if the black had gone in.
He's in a world of pain. Just hasn't concentrated.
The thing is about that pot is it wasn't even that close. He missed it by a mile,
Yeah,
relatively speaking.
He's a thick. Do you think he had a kick? I don't think he did he? Because usually when you get a kick, it straightens up to that side of the jaw. I'm not sure. I don't think he did though. I think he's just generally missed it. This is a massive chance to take the lead and get herself on the hill. Does she know has she got 2 shots? I don't think she has. She's played a snooker. She had two, I don't think she realised she had 2 shots.
Mika did have a shot on a visit.
She didn't realise she had 2 shots. Oh wow.
She just asked the referee, did you call that? And the referee responded yes. Well,
She could have picked the white up and opened the 2 yellows up and she'd be on the finish. Oh wow, that's a big mistake.
Everyone's eyes were on the black. So Mika plays the same shot again, but in reverse. Everyone's eyes were on the black, but Simon actually potted the yellow that he was carrying into as well, giving Mika the shot and a visit.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah, nobody spotted the yellow. Oh wow, she's
Was a
missed.
shot and a visit.
That's a big error.
Mika missed the call.
I wouldn't be surprised if he pots this, mind. It's close. Oh, I think he's just snicking on the way down, cutting in.
Well, he's hit the black, which is the most important thing. He's not left anything particularly easy, but
No, Mika's in big control here though. She just needs to choose the right shots.
again, it's a snooker. Don't think she meant to hit the jaw, which is why she's just having a little look at this. Can Simon Ward sneak the potting angle?
Oh, I don't know, that's tight.
Mika clipped the jaw, which straightened the white right back into the middle of the table. I just wonder if he can see that. Take a look.
You know, he'd rather not been able to see it because he could have just come off the cushion, nudged in, left it, and left Mika tight.
Comes the effort. There's the swerve.
Oh, wow,
He went for it.
effort.
It was a great effort.
Now then, Mika, there's your chance.
Well, this is the chance that she thought she had a few minutes ago. Mika has been conservative so far, but this is make or break. It's time to go.
This is definitely the time to go. And I think I should have a look again, yeah. I think them two yellows might plant into the centre. If they do, that makes life a lot easier for them.
Does look like it, doesn't it?
They do.
Oh, yellow needs to drop. Yellow needs to drop, and it didn't. She carries on staring at it, almost willing it over the line, but
She's left Simon a chance in that black, I think. Don't know if he can cut it in the centre, but he can definitely pot it in the top.
this is a chance at a recovery.
Section call.
Simon Ward should have won this frame 5 minutes ago.
It's a big pot.
Pushed it.
It's too thick.
It's close. He's so close.
Mika Rooney, you are not going to get a better chance than this to go 5-4 up against Simon in this Champions Cup. You need to take a chance right now.
It really is there, isn't it?
Yeah, she needs to take the ball into the right corner first, and then play the plant, and then everything's open. Yeah, she needs to take that one, run through a couple of inches, just like that. Play the plant, play the other plant, and then leave the one in the centre to last. You've got to be careful when they're together like this, that you don't catch the wrong side of the yellow, first yellow, and kind of push it offline, because it's easy to push them offline when they're really close. And there she's got it.
Pretty good.
She doesn't want the two of these to go in, so she'll play this gentle and leave the yellow you're hitting on the hole. It's a good shot.
Yeah, deliberately missed almost with the first ball.
Yeah. Because now she's got the angle to just drift over towards the black spot. And if she can hold herself together, it should be 5-4. Yeah, 5-4, sorry.
Couldn't be easier, right? Couldn't be easier.
Anything can happen when you're under pressure.
Mika Rooney was 4-1 down at the break.
The fans are getting excited.
She's one away.
She's on the hill. The fans are getting excited.
One away.
This will be a big upset if she can pull this off.
Well, before we head into our final frame, potentially, might well have two more. This is our qualifiers to date. It really has been some stellar performances. We saw in our first 4 weeks every seed qualified, and then Jason Remington broke the trend. Lee Warren was a Riley's qualifier in the first week at Solihull. He went through with a stunning performance, and we've seen some fantastic performances from there on out as well. John McAllister is the only seed to go through since week 4, which just shows the strength of this competition.
Yeah, Jason's a great player as well, so it's no big shock in getting through that group, really. Lee Warren there, that's fantastic for the qualifier to get through there. Absolutely superb. And the rest of the names you see there, great players, each in their own right.
Well, Simon Ward should be breaking for the match. He's breaking now to stay in it. As he made a ball, he creeps a couple in at the end. It's not the easiest life for him.
I get very worried about Simon, to be honest, yeah, because he's had a couple of chances that he should have taken, and he would have taken on any other day, but tonight he seems to be struggling a little bit.
Remarkable, really. I think last time we saw Simon Ward on Freesports was in that World Final against yourself, Ben. He looked more relaxed there than he does now.
Yeah, don't forget, he might have had a couple of frames beforehand, yeah, but when you're in the final of a tournament, you've been playing constantly for days, so it's different. You're a lot more settled in, and it's longer races. First to sixes, it's a bit of a coin toss. But he has had the chances, so this is, so to speak, it's kind of his own fault why he's behind, because he should have made the most of the chances he's had.
Fascinating semi-final. You can see there we're ticking towards the hour-and-a-half mark. 86 minutes on the watch. It's flown by.
He's lost the weight a little bit there. He's tried to kiss into the yellow. A bit fuller. Or maybe he goes in the centre. I'm not sure why he's taking on the bottom. He's coming in the pocket.
Yeah, the white just ran out for him there. And it's not the, I think it's the end of the world necessarily for Simon.
No, he's played a good containing shot there. He's put the yellow down over the pocket and make things a little bit harder for Mika. He doesn't want to be pushing the boat out and taking any risks at 5-4 down.
Mika on the clock.
Attention call.
Just used it, as I say, she's still got her extension. She just used it there. It's tough. It's nothing straightforward, yeah. The only thing she could try and do is maybe either cover this pocket where she's going or try and get snooker at the top end.
Isn't it amazing how often this happens in crucial frames when the break completely stitches up the entire frame and makes it difficult. And a foul's been called. Nika didn't touch a cushion after contact, it went straight down the line.
Oh, did she catch the cush first? Oh, she did as well. Oh, it did. That red looked like it touched though.
Time running.
Maybe it's different. On our camera is deceiving at times. This little screen we got here.
Possibly a tough call.
Definitely was cush first though.
So here's the opening that Simon was looking for. These yellows now are opened up. This is another look, Ben.
She catches the cush first, but does the red just... Oh, from that angle, I don't think it does. That's deceiving. It's a good call from the ref. A great call, fair play.
Yeah, Mika's... Well, I don't think our ref tonight's going to be on Mika's Christmas card, let's put it that way. That's what happened in the last frame. Not that he's actually done anything wrong, but...
Yeah, there we go. This should be 5 each. Just got to drop this. The yellow and the red is touching together. You can see how it goes in here. Drop this one in here. Take the one over the corner bag and leave himself through the gap into the yellow in the centre.
This has been really the first time that Simon has been at the table since the break, where he's looked a little bit comfortable. This has almost forced his hand back to the wall.
Perfect there. This is 5-all. Stun this in the centre, leave himself a slight angle on his last yellow, just to bump the white on and off the rail. Up for the 8 in the centre.
Would be really surprising to see Simon not being up here. It was really surprising when he didn't pot the black in the last frame. We've seen stranger things happen.
Yeah, these are gone.
Surely. Not even giving himself a second to think about it. There we go. We go to a decider. It's 5 apiece. And don't forget, we've still got our second semi-final. We are an hour and a half into the show. We've still got Simon Webb taking on Zach Wilkinson. And what are your thoughts on that one, Ben?
That's a very close game. There's nothing in that for me. You would toss a coin and call a winner that one. Very, very close game. I stick my neck out and go for the Welsh boy. I go for Zach.
If that one goes the distance, get yourself a cup of cocoa at home. Could be in for a long night.
Better ring the wife, tell her see her in the morning.
Mika's no stranger to that. She won her world title close to 2 AM in the morning in Bradford towards the start of the year. It was a mammoth game. That followed your mammoth game.
Yeah, I was going to say mine finished late. 11, half 11 maybe.
Mika just taking a quick comfort break.
Nice little crowd out there.
Yeah, it seems to be a good local scene here for the game. Certainly a place to enjoy playing your pool.
Yeah, well, I'm here every day, pretty much. My table is, well, it hasn't been there for a while, but because of the renovation work, but it's usually where this one is, not far off.
And Mika going back to the cut break. What a time to do it.
Yeah, she's hit that one a lot better, and she hasn't made a ball.
Such is the nature of the game.
It's not easy though. Definitely not easy. I think we might see Simon pot this red, screw into the 2 reds together, and then see how that comes out. If it comes out nice, he might go for them. But if not, it's not the end of the world because he's got control of the frame with the reds over the top pocket near the black.
Unfortunately, it comes out nice. I don't think that's come out particularly nice for him.
It's
Might
not.
be a bit too close to that red.
It's not great, but if the red in the middle of the table that's near the yellow goes into the centre, I think he will go for these. I'm sure he can cut that in the middle, the one he's closest to, and hold.
This is a fiddly shot if ever there was one.
Oh, it's wide, isn't it? Yeah, it's wide.
It's close.
It's not the end of the world, he's got control.
Yeah, big cheer obviously came up from Team Rooney, but I think someone's going to be too annoyed he's missed that.
No, they'd be cheering because Mika's got a chance, but it's far, far from an easy chance.
Well, black's totally tied up, and likewise her yellow at the top right of the table as well. Everything else is actually okay, but she'll be loath to pot any unless she cede control. It's almost a constant paradox in safety battles. The more you pot, the more of a disadvantage you're at.
Yeah, but it might not be a bad idea if the one that she's kind of facing towards now, she's looking at, she cuts that into the top left corner and sends the white into the red to push into the yellow. If she can get the yellow out, she might have a chance because the red is not fully on the pocket. So if she can get her yellow down near the back rail, she could play it off that red. There, that's not a bad shot. I think Simon's going to go game, but I can see what she was trying to do. She was trying to put it down there to give her that opportunity to play it off the red, because as you can see, the yellow will go off the red into that corner. I think she's left this, so Simon though.
Could be Mika's last shot of the tournament.
Yeah, I think he's landed a bit awkward there by his expression.
But yeah, I was just about to say, actually, due to the nature of this match, trust absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I think he's okay though. He's got an option to plant either the red that's nearest the yellow bottom right, or the red that's nearest the yellow just to the left.
Oh, nothing's ever easy. Trust nothing.
What is he doing? He's trying his best to mess this up. Just completely taking his eye off the pot. He's concentrating on the white. Mika's got a chance here because she could play that yellow at the bottom now behind the red. She can see enough of that to play it off the cush, off the red at least. At worst, she should cover the pocket.
Yeah, she's just having a look at it. The situation at the top of the table.
No,
She's looking actually at the yellow closest to the baulk line.
yeah, she's trying to play containing shot, dude. She's trying to put the yellow on top of the red, but it's not going to be no use.
That's pretty much as she intended it.
Yeah, I think still left Simon a good chance of getting his finish.
I like that shot, Ben.
But it's asking the question, don't get me wrong. It is asking the question, but I think it's a gettable finish. He should get this finish. See the red nearest his hand. Yeah, he's handed perfect. So if he just rolls this through and gets low, he can play that red onto the yellow, pot the red on the hole, and the red and the black will come out. And he's still guaranteed to be on the red that's closest to the centre pocket. Although it looks as if it's all tied up, one shot could bring them all out.
And it's this next one. Just taking a look at which balls are going to come into which.
Yeah, he's just worried about the yellow coming out. I think that's what he's worried about.
Just going to delay things ever so slightly, but this is the shot now. twice now.
Here we go. This is the big one. Just need to get the pace right. So the red and the black come out. And the yellow. There we go.
Red's out, black's
Oh,
out.
he's overscrewed it. Oh, he's on this one down here anyway. He's got lucky. He's put his hand up there. You can see he's got lucky because he's overscrewed for the red in the centre.
Yeah, he's just put his hand up to Mika to apologise for that one. He has got a bit of a stroke of luck.
He would have been, see if he's just got too much side on it, because that would have been his banker on the middle pocket, so he's guaranteed to be on it, but I think he's overscrewed it, so he just put his hand up to apologise there, because he's landed on this one in the bottom. See the crowd there getting involved.
Yeah, you can see he's going to do this shot. He's taking himself back up to the middle of the table.
Yeah, he played it
every
well.
yellow, has he?
Perfect. Played a great shot.
Now, this should be it. We've said this a couple of times already in this match
No.
for Simon Ward. He has not made it easy for himself.
Unless he gets one of them ones like Mika had in the opposite middle, this is definitely it.
It does go in. Now, surely this one will not miss for Simon Ward. He's there. Pushed every single step of the way by Mika Rooney. That is about as a relieved smile as you could possibly get. Mika Rooney gave a brilliant account of herself.
She definitely did. Superb effort and a big sigh of relief there from Simon.
The women's world champion
Yeah.
took the men's world finalist all the way to the decider and could have done it. But Simon Ward crosses the line. We've still got our second semi-final on the way to decide who'll face Simon Ward, and that's next.
The IPA Freesports Champions Cup pool is brought to you by Select Car Leasing.
One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
What was that like to play in? Yeah, because the last time I saw you play was in the World Final. So much more relaxed there.
I think it's just because like I know she can play.
Yeah.
Like I don't think she gets like the ladies' game as the respect it deserves. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, of course.
Like I'd rather play quite a few of the male players. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. No, it was. We just said actually, it was sort of it's a really good example just to show actually that it's fully up there.
yeah. Do you want to stand this little T or just standing in that T area?
Oh yeah, just feet either side there, mate. Sorry.
Okay, was it?
Left foot, right foot.
Ah.
Two, 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 two. Testing 1, 2. Right.
The IPA Freesports Champions Cup pool is brought to you by Select Car Leasing.
And welcome back to South Wales. We're here in Neath and we're here with our winner of our first semi-final. So what a game, first of all. What was that like to play in?
Oh, it was really tough, really tough. Obviously, I started off pretty well and went 4-1 up. And I didn't relax, but I thought I pretty much got the job done, got in control. And then after the interval, she came out with some really big shots and big finishes and put me under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, and of course, it seemed to be that the game almost started to get away from you. Did you just have to sort of hang in there as best you could towards the end?
Yeah, I did. It was getting a bit inevitable that I was going to lose every frame. Little things started going wrong, but I played a pretty good frame to go 5-4 up in the go 5-all, and then I was a bit lucky with the finish to win 6-5. But I got them in the end.
And what did you make, because you play here quite a bit, what was it like to, for once, have the Partisan support against you in your home club?
Yeah, it was good fun actually to play, and I was glad that Mika brought a lot of support with her. I think she's obviously a very, very good player, and then she's ladies world champion. It wasn't a good draw for me in particular, even though the bookies were saying it was. But I felt there was a lot of pressure on me to win and win well, but at the end of the day I won, so that's the main thing.
A great advert for the women's game especially.
Absolutely, I think it's underrated, and I think that proved, especially when her back was against the wall, she came up with some big finishes. And you know, I've seen her play before in the World Championships, and that was live on TV as well, and she looked really good then. But yeah, luckily I managed to get the win.
And now you get to relax a little bit and watch this second semi-final. How much are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to now. I've got my teeth into it. I've got used to the table, so I'm hoping the next match I'll play a bit better.
Well, we can't wait to watch you in the final. Good luck.
Thanks so much. Cheers. Thank you.
And here's a reminder of how we got there. Well, what an epic, what a fantastic advert for this competition, and indeed for women's pool as well. Terrific performance from Mika Rooney, who was unlucky to lose to Simon Ward, who really had to dig one out there. This is our next semi-final. Without further ado, as it were, Simon Webb taking on Zach Wilkinson. Zach in the white, Simon there in the black, and we've heard Simon talk a very good game over time on Freesports. He's been a regular in the commentary box, and he's actually at the table now for the first time on Freesports.
Yeah,
he'll be looking forward to and dreading at the same time.
I'm filling his shoes tonight in the com box. He looks quite cool. I'm just checking his hair there, look. Make sure his hair's right. He looks quite cool though.
All jokes aside, does it potentially add a little bit more pressure, the fact that he does a fair bit of the commentary, and not maybe from other people, but maybe on himself, thinking that, well, spent all this time talking a good game, I better back it up?
Just depends how harsh he's been on people. If he's called shots out that people have done wrong, then he needs to make sure he plays the right ones himself.
I don't think his level's been as harsh as you were to Simon, so I think he should be all right.
Yeah, he's a good mate, I can get away with it.
No, absolutely, I did mention it to him, and he said, well, it was to be expected really, and probably deserved. So Zach Wilkinson with the break, and he'll be fuming with that. He's gone in off straight off the bat.
Yeah, he hasn't hit them too well. He screwed straight in off.
Oh, right smile from Zach, who's got every chance in this match. He said earlier on, pretty much straight down the middle, not much to call between them. What's Zach like to play against?
Yeah, he's a steady player. There's not much in this. So, actually, I think Zach beat Simon in the Welsh professional event. So yeah, he's definitely capable. Simon Ward.
So reds are the for Simon Webb.
Yeah. A bit of work to do here though.
Yeah, it wasn't the best break at all really from Zach. Not only did he pop the white, but didn't get a great split on them. It wasn't, despite the fact that he went in off, it wasn't the easiest table to come to for Simon.
No, I think he's going to try and screw into these and move them around. Oh no, he's played on the centre.
He did have a good practice on the table earlier on. Had a few frames against him actually. Did you mention that a 1-1? Because he went in off the black, but they all count.
I think he's kind of missed a shot there. I think the red he's just played in the middle. If he would have stunned it, the red directly to the left of the black, he could have taken that into the top right corner, and that would have opened him up, and then he could have played the white to where it is now. But he's still got a chance here. Trust a little bit of luck now.
Actually opening up all right. Needs to watch the pot though.
Yeah, he just pushed
Stamp
it.
of frustration. Just caught it thick.
He hasn't left anything easy.
Yeah, so it's the classic example, just taking her out the pot, isn't it?
Yeah, he's trying to do too much with the white. I think he's trying to hold it on that red. Are we playing billiards or?
It's a strange shot from Zach.
That was a very strange one. I think what he's tried to do there is he's tried to push the red past the middle pocket onto the cush, and he's caught it a bit thick.
It's a let off for Simon. It's not the greatest start to Champions Cup action for Zach Wilkinson. He's played 2 shots and he's played 2 fouls.
He's kept looking at it to see what's happened. I think we see Simon here play the red, furthest red to the left, into the gap of these 2 yellows. Not too hard, just nice steady pace to push it through, so leave himself a chance to pot it. Oh, that's gone wrong. He's caught it too thin. He's pushed it safe.
It was a little bit eye of the needle, that shot, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think he just needed to spread the yellows and kind of leave the red in the middle. Still got a chance here. He can clip off this red, the one he's just put safe, and pot the red on the hole. The only problem with that is he wants to make sure that the red he's clipping off, he doesn't tie the other red up with it.
That's what he's played. Oh, he's unlucky. Just got it a fraction wrong.
Yeah, he's missed the cannon. First real chance for Zach then.
He's half an inch off getting that absolutely spot on. Zach's gonna make Simon take a seat here.
You won't do too much with these. You just drop this in and drift away to cross. See him take the middle of the 3 yellows. Try and stun back out, or not sure if he can maybe force the white around the back of the other yellow.
I'm sure I'll be a little bit relieved to just get out the table playing some legal shots after the slightly inauspicious start he made.
He's played that well. Yeah, definitely be quite surprised really, I should imagine, to be back to the table after that shot. Played that well. Not sure how much angle he's got here, but ideally he'd like to get on the yellow to the left on the rail after this. Did you leave it to last?
Looks like it.
Not too bad, he can stand through the gap. Played that well.
Yeah, played it really nicely.
Depends how he decides to play this year. It's a tricky little screw shot with the red there. He could go behind it, but I think he might just choose to roll it in and give himself a shot. Yeah, he's overscrewed there. It's because that red was in his mind. He didn't want to underscrew it and snook it himself, and he's ended up overscrewing it. He's going for a skill shot. See his fingers shaking there. He's got it. It's a great shot.
Well, he was very agitated during the first semi-final as he was awaiting this one. He was very, very nervous, but he got over the line with a skill shot. In the end, he'll be delighted to get one on the board. This is a look now at Simon Webb's recent tournament history. He was beaten by Neil Raybone in the World Championships, and he's not lost to anyone particularly bad. It's a good list of opponents.
Hibbert, Mark Bowen, Welsh boy, can play. Andrew Hughes, who we seen last week. Andy Lucas, everybody knows Andy Lucas, great player. And Dave Adenald, who we seen get through as well from Chester. He played really well. I think he beat Gareth Hibbert in the final. It's a great result for David.
Yeah, he did indeed. And we first to admit, Simon, that he hasn't been playing his best pool in the last year or so.
He does a lot behind the scenes with the team, so I think that kind of drags him away from his practice. And he's doing a great job, to be fair to him.
He's a strong part of the IPA force behind the team, behind the scenes, should I say. He was the man who helped set up the table this afternoon, for example.
Yeah, he works hard to sign with. Fair play to him. He's played a great shot there, though. He's opened that yellow up lovely. Just one good positional shot now to get himself in the mix, and it should be one each, yeah?
Yeah, almost easy to forget that he's a very good player in his own right. Just needs to come to the other side of that red. I think he's okay.
Yeah, I think he's just okay. Maybe a little bit thinner than what he would have liked, but I think he can manage. Just pinch the pocket a little bit.
Noticed earlier when he was playing around the practice table, even on every shot, he never ever looked happy. And it was only after I had a bit of a word with him after a couple of practices, how are you feeling? He said, well, I feel like I'm cueing really well.
Yeah.
Not necessarily always the best to judge his facial expressions.
I think everyone strives for perfection, and when they don't get perfection, they can be a little bit harsh on themselves. We're only human at the end of the day. We all make mistakes.
No, just seeing the yellow on the black spot does pass into the corner pocket. You can see it just there.
Yeah, I think he just used the red above it, so a little soft screw into the red to hold the white. Needs to be careful the white doesn't slide off the red and go towards the centre pocket, and he won't want to knock the red towards the black either. Oh, I think he's just okay.
Yeah, I think you can just see the yellow on the right.
Yeah, he's just okay. I think he was expecting to kiss the red and he just missed it. Just a slight glance off it. It's a great camera shot, that. He's got hold of that.
Yeah, just got a little bit too much into that.
Yeah, he's got hold of that too much.
He's okay, he's just made the shot a lot more difficult than it needed to be.
I think he can make the pot, but I can't see a way back to the black unless he jacks the cue up in the air, which makes the pot really tough.
Pot's tough. Will he leave himself anywhere near the black? He's made the pot.
That's a great shot.
That's a tremendous shot.
He's done really well to get the white there.
The nature of where the reds were, he knew the top of the table was pretty much off limits, and to leave himself in the middle there, that was maybe a far better clearance than it actually looked.
Yeah, he kind of made a little bit of hard work of it, but he took it out really well in the end.
This is Zach's most recent history in the tournaments. Not a regular on the IPA tour, but I mentioned he had a good run at the Welsh Professional, knocking out Simon Ward, and he's only beaten by Dan Davey in the last 16.
Yeah, he's had a good run in the Welsh Professional.
Might
be a new pro, maybe.
The type of character to relish an opportunity like this, first time on the cameras.
Yeah, so imagine I don't really know a great deal about his background. I know he's been around playing Wales for a long, long time, but I don't know him that well, as in personally.
Oh, second straight time
Straight in the same pocket.
And this is arguably even worse than the first one, because he's actually got a good spread, and he caught a bit of bad language there. We do offer our apologies. It's safe to say Zach Wilkinson not happy with that break there. Second straight break in off. He's just having another watch of it.
Yeah, he's
on the screen. Not happy.
The reds kissed the white in the middle of the table and helped it on its way.
He's moved the yellow, Simon, but again, there's no real bad option here. Both colours look pretty gettable. It looks like it is going to be yellows, which is his choice.
Yeah, he just needs to mind how he goes about his work here. He needs to get rid of the yellow up the top end of the table soon and work his way back down. The black will be going in the left centre.
You can just see at the back there, Mika Rooney enjoying herself. Enjoying a well-deserved drink after that semi-final.
I was just talking to my partner Colette there in the break, and Colette said to her that maybe you should have just pushed the boat out a touch in our final frame and gone for it, when I said to you that Simon should get this finish when she played the containing safety. Just if you don't find yourself in them situations too often, it's hard to push the boat out. But you know, if you've been there so many times and fallen from playing a safety, then I think that's where you kind of say to yourself, similar to what I done in the Worlds pretty much, when I just thought once you get a chance, you just got to go push the
I was
boat out.
actually just about to bring that up. Final frame of the World Championships, there was a sink or swim moment when you had about 4 balls gathered over the bottom left pocket, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you just want one chance, and if you get that one chance, then go down fighting. Just go for it.
I don't think she'll have too many regrets, Mika, especially the way she played, but that might be an ever so slight one. She was unhappy with a break. You're having a bit of a chat with her in the interval.
Another great finish here for Simon. Worked his way around, he's nice.
Yeah, he's made this look very, very simple.
Seems to be... Oh, I thought you missed that.
No,
Slight pause.
he made that very, very simple. It was a lovely dish from Simon Webb, who moves into a 2-1 lead. And a couple of cheap giveaways, really, from Zach Wilkinson, as we remind ourselves of the draw for the last 16. It's shaping up. Only a few more spots to give away.
It definitely is.
Some good ties in there, isn't there? The one that stood out for me for a little while since John McAllister qualified was Ronan McCarthy versus John McAllister, two of the most informed players on the tour.
Marshall Whelan as well would be a good one.
And take a look at Lee Warren, the qualifier. Gets himself Jason Rimington, a fellow non-seed, both with a great chance to move into the quarterfinals.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, both have looked at that draw and really fancied having a bit of a run in this competition.
Yeah. Yeah, if Lee Warren could progress further, that would be definitely a big talking point.
Well, as I say, I watched Simon warm up a little bit earlier this afternoon. That's the best break he's hit all day.
Yeah, he's caught them lovely. He just seems really cool tonight. Seems as if he's queuing well. Seems as if he is he's up for the job.
Yeah, laser focus as well.
He fancies the job at hand.
As you mentioned, he's been a regular in the Freesports commentary box on the Champions Cup coverage, and I also say he definitely takes the job very seriously. I've never seen him so focused as he is right now. He said to me earlier, the commentary's the easy bit.
It's the opposite for me.
These yellows don't look too problematic.
No, they all go. I think if he's straight on this yellow now, you just stop the white dead, and the yellow that's near the red should pass the other one into the centre. It's no big problem if it doesn't pass, because it goes into the bottom right corner as we look here. Yeah, he's played for the bottom right. Black is a little bit tricky, he just needs to pick his pocket for it. Pick his pocket now so he can work his way the easiest route to it.
Well, one thing that Simon's taught me over our many hours of commentating together, and I hope he applies it in real life as well, is he always works back from the black.
Yeah, that's correct.
Always.
I'm not sure where I'm still unsure where he's playing the black. Unless he's screwing back to the cush where his hand is. Yeah, that's not too bad. I would have preferred to be on the side rail so I could have potted the yellow and used the top rail and the right hand side rail to widen the angle, so I was guaranteed to have a shot at the black in the top left corner as we look at the screen.
Because check this a little bit.
Coming this way off one cush, if you hit it too hard, you could slide behind that red. But he's played that perfect.
Yeah, it's a good shot. Should be 3-1. We've seen in the last semi-final. No pot is ever easy, particularly the last. But that's in no trouble. 3-1. Here's the lead for Simon Webb, who's certainly settled into this game the better.
Yeah, he looks very composed tonight. Cueing the ball lovely. You won't have no complaints so far.
This is a reminder of the Champions Cup tour, as it were. We've already been to Washington, Cardiff, Sheffield and Chester. We've also visited Solihull. We're visiting them next week as well. Twickenham no longer part of the schedule.
You see,
as noted.
Kind of in the middle there, looks just a little bit closer to me.
Yeah, ever so slightly. I'm not sure that map's too much to scale, but it gives you an idea. And we've got to make our way up to Scotland for the final 2 weeks of qualifiers. We'll then have 4 weeks of last 16 and quarter-final action. The format won't change. It's 4 weeks of last 16 and quarter-finals. Similar idea. 2 last 16 games, the winner of which will play the quarter-final. And then we'll have 1 final week, 2 semis and the grand final to win that wonderful trophy that Ben's partner has made the room on the shelf for. No pressure.
That'll be me out first round though.
Well, I think Zach has almost made sure he's not gone in off there, hasn't he? With the way he's played that, he's not got a great break, and
no, I don't.
It's really letting him down at the moment.
No, they don't seem to be splitting right, do they? Unless they're not hitting them hard enough. So I think he needs maybe. You see, he's got big arms there. He needs to put a bit more into it, I think, to get him open.
Well, the way the cue ball span off, I'm not sure he got the fullest contact.
Yeah, he did catch it off centre. And he had a lot of top spin on it as well, so that'll take a lot of the pace out of the ball.
Someone's going to call his extension here. He does. This isn't the easiest lie of the balls. It's not the most tricky, but he's got a few areas to think about. The cluster at the bottom of the table is probably the most pressing for him.
Yeah, you'll see him go reds, I think. Or as he goes for the gap for the yellow, is he?
Yeah, yellows is his option.
I think I would have gone reds myself, but like I say, each player is different. Everyone sees the finish as different to others.
Absolutely. I just wonder if his idea is to take out the 2 yellows and just leave the black where it is. But he's run slightly out of position there, and he's forced into playing the safety.
Yeah, it's not. He hasn't left a great deal. I think you might see Zach play a snooker down behind the black here, maybe. But it'll be an easy escape. Doesn't really want to open that black up. He wants to leave the black tied up. I think he's got an option of a plant into the centre. It's not easy though.
Looks like he is trying to play the snooker.
Oh, he's kept it tight.
Played it pretty well. As you mentioned, easy escape, but it's the fact that he's got far less control over the shot, which Zach is trying to wrestle back in this frame.
Yeah, there's no. Oh, gee, I thought he missed that then.
Just caught the edge of it. And a reminder, we did see in the last game, Mika Rooney called a foul for not hitting a cushion after contact. Simon Webb was totally snookered there, so doesn't have to hit a cushion after hitting the ball, so he can rest up on it just like that. That's not a bad effort though.
Yeah, I think red's a slightly favourite, yeah. There's not a lot in it, but just slightly favourite.
Would have been some shot for this, the plant double to go in. He was very, very close to it as well. So he takes the option of the pot. Just wonder if he fancies breaking into the pack here. He could take this furthest right of the yellows along the bottom rail.
He's got a chance. He's definitely got a chance. If he wants to go full out attack, yeah, he can cut this yellow in and screw the other one out. He's played that well. He's been a bit unlucky, the black's still tied up. But he's got a big chance because, like you just see, he's queuing up there. If he can get himself straight on the yellow on the cushion for last, and then he can just roll it in and then have a tough cut across the back cushion on the black. giving himself a good chance.
Yeah, he played the pot pretty well there. It was uncomfortable queuing to make sure he didn't rest his body on the red at the top of the table.
Oh, he's playing this now. Is he covering the pocket maybe? Yeah, he's just taking control, covering the pocket. To give Zach a chance though playing that shot, because as you know with the black ball rules you can play the 2-in-1 skill shot as we call it. Oh,
We'll just take a look at the shot that Zach just played there. You mentioned he could play the skill shot. He did play the skill shot.
we missed that one. He played a great shot.
But didn't quite get the position desired, so again it's the snooker. But
He's left Simon with a chance now.
yeah, I was going to say, the only thing you would say is it has opened up the frame for Simon. If you can get this one, it's difficult, but
Yeah, agree.
there's a chance.
It's a big shot, but if he knocks it in, he should get the frame.
Oh, has he fluked it? Not quite.
It was a tough shot. It wasn't easy.
A tough shot without the difficult queuing off the cushion. He had that as well, made it missable. Nearly got a spectacular fluke.
Should see Zach cleaning up yet.
Well, it'll be good to see Zach at the table looking pretty comfortable. We've almost seen either the spectacular or the ridiculous so far, almost from Zach Wilkinson.
Yeah, he played a good shot there.
This is, well, it should be at least routine. We've seen some brilliant shots from the Welshman. We have seen some bad ones as well.
Slightly ran out of position there. I think he's okay though. He's rerouting. He's had a little stroke there. He's had a stroke of luck. He's playing to come past them two then, and he's just nudged it and left himself on it.
Yeah, could have left himself no shot there.
Not sure if he's got the angle here to top this in and come off the side rail, back out for the one at the top. No, he's too straight.
Really one at the top. He snooked on the other one.
Yeah, he doesn't need to do a lot here. Just pot this and leave the white on the left-hand side of the table, so he can screw across for the 8 ball off his last red.
I was about to say, actually, the yellow made that quite a big bag as well. Just glanced off it on his way through.
I think he would have liked to be a little bit closer than this.
He nails it, but he's not the black safe. This frame might well not be over just yet.
It's a little bit careless there from Zach. Should have been closer to his work off the last but one red. He wouldn't have had to play that shot.
Yeah, he tried to go around the black almost, didn't he? Has he got an option for a double?
He's got an option for double into the centre, which is probably a 1 in 10. Or you can come off the side rail where his chalk is and try and pot it in the bottom right corner.
Looks like he's going for the first option.
I think he's playing
Actually,
safe.
Is he playing it safe? Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah. I don't like that shot. It's giving your opponent a big chance. Fancy Simon to knock this in.
It's the one thing you said earlier, wasn't it, when we were talking about the Mika Rooney match?
Yeah, you got to work the percentages out, and that wasn't the best percentage shot for me. If he's going to play safe, I think he should have just touched the black, left in the middle of the back rail.
Simon could play that almost as a shot to nothing. He was always going to leave a very difficult shot if he missed it, but it wasn't an easy shot at the top of the table.
Thought you'd have knocked that in. This is tough.
Zach is giving his opponent a chance, but that one goes
White
begging.
going.
And the white's in again, third time in the match. He can't believe it.
There's always a chance that white going towards that corner though.
Oh, now the frame surely is Simon's. Yeah, see it again. He almost stared at the white as it came back towards him deploringly. Not again.
Should be formality now for Simon. It's the right way. Put that over the bottom pocket.
And that then becomes his ball onto the black.
Ball for the black. So position onto the yellow in the middle of the table, and then straight forward. Yeah, he played that well.
Oh, he's been clinical when he's had his chances.
Yeah, that's why I fancied him to knock that long yellow in, yeah, just now, because he's been queuing really well. Maybe didn't really give it his full attention because he knew the white was going safe. But he's mopped that one up.
He's safely home for a 4-1 lead for Simon Webb in this second semi-final. But as we saw in our first, 4-1 is no guarantee of an easy finish. We'll see the conclusion of this second semi-final after the break.
The IPA Freesports Champions Cup pool is brought to you by Select Car Leasing.
Sixth frame, Simon Webb to break, leading 4 racks to 1. Time running.
The IPA Freesports Champions Cup pool is brought to you by Select Car Leasing.
Welcome back to Neath in South Wales. Simon Webb has been at the table. Zach Wilkinson looked to take advantage of a missed Simon Webb shot a couple of moments ago, just before we came back on air. Simon's back at the table. He's on reds. Did play a lovely shot initially to open up a difficult table and missed a long red up towards the top. And
Yeah, I think
back at the table here, but he's just seeing here our ref to see if he's totally snookered. I think it's very, very close. I think he may well be.
steady hands on the ref, fair play. He's had a few weeks practice now, hasn't he? I don't think he'd have been that steady on the first week.
He's been enjoying it as much as the rest of us, I think.
Yeah, he's a nice guy, Hugh, fair play to him.
He's actually a very decent player in his own right.
Yeah,
He used to play for the Wales team, he was telling me.
Yeah, he's been around for a long time.
As he gave me a kicking around the practice table last week.
He's
Ozzy
got it.
potted it.
Oh, wow.
That's a great shot, Simon Webb.
He's pulled one out the bag there.
Now he's remained very, very cool there, but internally he'll be absolutely delighted with that. It's a terrific shot.
Yeah, that's a great shot. And he just needs to soft stun this into the yellow. I think that should give him the perfect angle.
And the reason why that was such a good shot is because he's had to play it with side, and it's
Yeah,
so
to judge
difficult to judge that off the cushion to the precise angle needed to make the pot. Not just hit the ball, but make the potting angle as
Yeah,
well.
definitely. He's slightly run out of position there, but he's okay. He can cut this in and run around off 3 cushions. He can pot the black from anywhere over near this left hand cushion. So he doesn't need to be so precise, just make sure the pot. He's not happy there because what's caused that position there is the red beforehand into the right centre where he left the white on the rail. If he just stunned into the yellow and left the white off the rail.
Missed the pot. After playing such a good shot to get himself that chance.
Yeah. It's just that one careless position shot to the right centre that left the next shot a little bit awkwarder than the next one a little bit. It's kind of like a chain effect.
It always is the knock-on effect. Sometimes makes a player chase a frame. And the thing is, as you mentioned, I think if someone almost wasn't so into the game as he obviously is, he might not have been too fussed about that, but he was really annoyed at himself and making the shot more difficult than it needed to be.
Yeah.
Just took his eye off
I
it.
still fancied him to get it. Just, I think he concentrated a little bit too much on the position side when he should have just made sure of the red and given himself a shot at the black.
That's not the easiest finish for Zach. The yellow on the right cushion is the obvious difficult one, although it's in a pretty good position, I think, to double.
Yeah, it's a pretty straightforward double if he gets in the right place. And it also goes down the cushion, yeah.
Would be a bit of a steal. Simon's had a couple
Yeah.
of goes at this frame.
Ideally, he wants the white back where it is now after this pot. Oh, he's going down the rail. It's not a bad option because if he does miss it, he leaves the bag, covers the bag, he should do, and leave Simon with no shot. You'd have liked the white to come across a little bit further, maybe.
Tough shot, but if he pots it, deserves to win the frame. It's a good effort. It's a really good effort. Just doesn't quite drop. He won't mind that too much.
Yeah, he always had the backup of that, covering the pocket. Plus he snookered him as well.
Yeah, a little added bonus for him there.
Tension all pockets, yeah, I think. Give it a whack. Try and double it into the top corner, maybe. Come off the back rail and hit it as hard as you can.
I love that sometimes this game requires so much finesse, but ever so often you do just get a good hold whack as he fluked it into the middle.
It's not hard enough.
Not quite.
It was going as well. Yeah, situations like that, just got to give yourself the best chance of anything, I suppose, and just give it a good old whack.
It nearly paid off for him. But in the end, this should be Zach Wilkinson's frame.
Yeah, he needed this.
Didn't expect him to miss that. He doesn't. Seals it and gives himself a foothold in this semi-final. Did need that, I think, as you mentioned, Ben, because 5-1 looks so different to 4-2.
Yeah, it's a big frame.
So he'll be looking to put that to the back of his mind. Would have been almost home and dry if he'd have taken that one out.
Still looking very focused, Simon.
Good to hear the Mika Rooney fan club, as I think they're being unofficially dubbed. They're still in the venue here in Neath and enjoying themselves.
Yeah, I wonder who they've picked up now to support. Maybe they might be on Zach.
Certainly does seem to be a really nice atmosphere around the place. I know you hear, as you mentioned, it almost every day, Ben. It's run by I can't believe
that's the third time he's gone there.
Well, it's almost got to the stage where Zach Wilkinson can do nothing else but laugh about it.
I know. Third time straight in that pocket. He'd be fuming with himself.
He's had 4 breaks. 3 of them have gone straight in off. The other one hit the jaws.
Yeah, that's right. That was the centre.
Incredible.
No, it's Shooter Sports by here in Neath. It's a lovely club. It's always a great atmosphere. Come here. Like I say myself, I play here. Craig Marsh plays here. Simon occasionally, and Philly, who owns the place. He's IPA pro himself. You see
Christian Phillips.
Yeah,
Those who don't know him so well.
yeah, Christian Phillips. He got through a few weeks back in Cardiff.
He did indeed, week 4.
This is his club, and it's a really nice place. Anyone's welcome to come here whenever you like.
Yeah, it seems to be a good camaraderie around the Welsh boys, especially. Everyone seems to respect each other, especially, but seems to get along really well.
Yeah, we always have. It's always someone in here to play a game with.
It's also a pretty good standard of practice partner as well. You know, you're playing some of the best in the business when you have a practice here.
Yeah.
Simon will be thinking to himself, I'm not going to have a chance at putting myself one away. Zach's given him plenty of opportunities in this match.
He needs to win this frame. This is a big frame, 4-3, 5-2.
I noticed it actually with the first semi-final when Mika got 2 in a row. You just got the sense that it was almost inevitable that she was going to get the third.
Yes, you can kind of feel the momentum shifting, because especially when you've missed a finish you should have got, and then you've lost 2 frames on the back of that. Then you can really feel under the pressure, because you're saying to yourself, like, you know, I need to try and stop this, stop the rot, so to speak. And if you can't stop it, you tend to get a little bit worried.
Yeah, I think that's what Simon was alluded to in this post-match interview after the first semi-final. The fear certainly kicked in after it had gone.
I could see it on his face. All them smiles, don't believe them.
He's very complimentary on the crowd here in Neath. Said he enjoyed the banter and enjoyed the atmosphere.
Yeah, they're great crowd. It's a lot of like good snooker players as well come out of Neath. There's not just pool is big around here, just Q sports in general. It's a real hotbed for it. Everyone loves the game.
We saw one of them on the World Championships action earlier on.
Yeah, Jamie. Yeah, Jamie won. He actually, that's his table over there. His table's actually in this club. He practices here.
He had a great win in the Snooker World Championships earlier on. It's a bit of a Q Sports hotbed.
Yeah, definitely. And Simon's taking these out really well. There we go. It's a great finish.
Really did do that well, Simon Webb. He'd have expected to take that out, but he just had to be careful with his work. I think
Yeah,
it's
he ran out of position a little bit, but he managed to get the white back under control. Great. And he's taken them out well. So play to him.
He's just having a little watch back of his black ball. But here we go. These are the breaks from Zach Wilkinson. All three of them have gone in off.
Yeah, this one gets kissed in off. That was like a little bit unlucky, but the white is still travelling towards there, and that one the same. That got nudged in off as well. But like the white seemed to travel in that same direction off every break. This one goes straight in.
The third one's maybe the most unforgivable. The fact that because that's the archetypal in off when it spins straight in.
But if you don't hit the top ball bang on in the centre, and the white's going towards them corners, there's always that chance they can get kissed in.
Simon has been favouring the cut break. He hasn't gone into that at all how he would have liked.
He didn't get that one. Didn't hit that one as well as the other ones.
Yeah, just didn't hit it full in the face, did he? He was looking for the second ball, almost as it were.
Yeah, the white to come back into the heart of the pack, and it's kind of just hit above the heart of the pack, so he hasn't got the split that he would normally get.
So a decent chance here with that Wilkinson to stay in the match.
Yeah, he'd just be dropping this in, leaving himself a little angle, still across. The red nearest the black, I'm assuming it goes in the centre, past the black, so you can use the yellow to hold on the red at the top if he decides to go that way. Doesn't want to be on the rail.
At first look, at least, it does look like a pretty straightforward reverse dish for Zach Wilkinson, but I suppose you go one of two ways when you're one frame away from defeat. Everything feels like it's never going in, or your back's up against the wall, you're forced into...
You just want everything to land perfect, so it's as easy as possible, and unfortunately that's not the way it goes. It always goes the hardest way possible. Like you see, he's slightly run out of position here now.
Yeah, I thought actually when that pot was drifting towards the pocket, I thought for a second he might have missed it. He used the full pocket.
Yeah, he's still got... He should still finish them, but it's a bit harder than what it could have been. Just play this plain ball, drift back down the table. For the red in the bottom right corner. A bit short there.
Just has to be careful, I think, here, not to cannon the yellow.
He's got to play a very delicate shot here now. They either play the black into the same pocket as this red, or just trickle it in so you can hold. He's pushed it.
And that was the prime
stemmed.
example of a white getting away and having that knock-on effect as we mentioned in the last frame.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
Because as you can see, deliberately tried to avoid the yellow, but in doing so, he's lost the potting angle.
It's a great chance now for Simon to seal this. Book his spot into the final.
This should be pretty straightforward. The only one he's got to worry about a little bit, I think, is that there's the middle yellow along the left rail. But it's off the cushion at least, it should be relatively straightforward.
Yeah, you want to get the yellow closest to the top left pocket. I think he's going to play now, get out of the way, so all the yellows go then. He's opted to screw into it, that was a bit risky. It's not come out right. It's one thing I always say, if the balls go, then don't move them because things can go wrong. He's played a good shot there to recover that situation.
He really has.
Still not 100% over. Still got to pot this one across the table in the middle. Came off the rail.
Oh, he's missed it near.
Yeah, it was tricky there. Across the bed of the table. You've got to play him with a bit more pace. Yeah. That's a golden chance he'd be kicking himself there. He hasn't left anything easy for Zach, but last thing you want to do is give your opponent another chance.
Yeah, it's actually a tough one here because there's not a lot of places to hide the position of Simon's yellows.
No. I think he's going to play a safety, try and get the white over to this left-hand cush, but left-hand side rail.
What are you thinking about the pot?
I think this is a bit ambitious.
Criticising being too cautious a couple of frames ago.
But I think
He's taken your advice and gone for it.
I think if he'd have gone for the pot, he should have gone for the double into the top corner rather than coming across the table. I think he had more chance of making the double.
That was a very, very tough shot.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. He definitely odds against to make that one. It's a good effort.
It wasn't too far off even.
No, it was a good effort.
Someone's fizzed that one in. Almost with.
Doesn't want to be straight. I think he's just okay there.
Almost played that with a little bit of frustration from I think his last shot.
Yeah, he's okay there. He can play this with a touch of top right and run the white off 2 rails. Or maybe he doesn't go in the centre. He didn't fancy it in centre, he's played the double. Looks like it goes in the centre, no? Big shot coming up then, Simon.
It is indeed.
Needs to get the white back around for the 8. He's got a
Nails the
pot.
double.
Is the white coming enough?
Should be okay, surely.
I think it's just enough. I think it's a thin one.
It is. He played a very thin yellow into the top left corner, which isn't at a similar angle. This is very thin. He's got it. Where's the white ball? It's all right. Simon Webb's done it. He makes his way through to make it an all-Simon final.
Battle of the Simons.
It will indeed. He's had to show his mettle in that one. Rueful shake of the head. But we have our final coming up after the break.
The IPA Freesports Champions Cup pool is brought to you by Select Car Leasing. The IPA Freesports Champions Cup pool is brought to you by Select Car Leasing.
Very warm welcome back to Neath in South Wales, and quite a strange interview this, Simon, being the other side of the mic, but how do you feel you played there?
I'm thrilled, to be honest with you. I played a lot better than I expected to. Came here with very, very low expectations and queued really, really nicely. Got let off a couple of times, but yeah, happy with the way I'm queuing, so yeah, really pleased.
And in terms of the final, looking up against your fellow Simon Ward, we've watched him together plenty of times, we've picked apart his game, we know how good a player he is. How much are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, I'm absolutely thrilled. I've never played Simon, and he's one of the top players, so I'm really looking forward to playing against him. Obviously, I've spent a lot of time watching him and commentating on him, so nice to actually be the other side of the table and take him on.
I wish you all the very best of luck.
Thank you.
And let's take a reminder of how Simon got there. So here we go then. This is the final battle of the Simons. Simon Ward taking on Simon Webb. Race to 6 frames. Have a lag in the moment. Shaking the hands. As Simon Webb mentioned, first chance these two have had to meet in competition. Should be a real interesting game, this one. As I mentioned, Stephen Jameson with you, guiding you through the action here for the final. Still joined by world champ Ben Davis, and this is a really interesting one to call, because as I mentioned, these two have never played each other, which seems a bit strange with two of them being on the circuit for such a while. But Simon says he's looking forward to it. I think Simon Ward will be as well. But yeah, really intriguing final.
Yeah, if Simon plays like he did in the last game there against Zach, he's got every chance, yeah.
Ward versus Webb. That's how we might have to frame this one. Referee just making sure the balls are all touching. So important that we are to for an optimum split. It looks like Simon Ward has the break in this one. He had the most difficult semi-final in terms of score. It was a real drainer, 6-5 win over Mika Rooney. He's had a bit of a break to compose himself, and there is that super strong break in action, and it should be, already looking at this split, it looks like it's a very good odds of being 1-0.
Yeah, there's not going to be many, not going to be much of these left. Can go any colour, but I think we see him going reds maybe. Haven't had a great look at them yet. Yeah, definitely reds.
Perhaps a little fortunate with the white, the way it came back off the jaw, but I suppose when you break into them that powerfully, you always run the risk that how it could go near a pocket.
Yeah, he didn't catch the top ball square on.
Just shows his key power though, the fact he's got such a good split.
Yeah. It's all about the timing as well with the break, so sometimes you can hit them as hard as you want and you won't get as much of a split as someone hits them not as hard. So just see Simon now take out 3 at the top of the table, leave the red near the black for last. Oh, no, typical Simon fashion, he's going backwards.
Well, you mentioned in the first game that he's a very, very unpredictable player. Nightmare for a commentator, of course.
Yeah, and I've played with him for years and I still can't find out the way he goes.
What do you think, having played that one, will be his ball down to the black?
Not too sure now, to be honest. I think he should have left that one to last, but maybe what he's thinking is the red closest to the cushion. I think if he just drops that in, it might be a direct path straight through the gap to the black of the yellows. He played that one wrong there. Tried to run through and I think he's stunned it a touch, so he's landed the wrong side of this red. Might have to force this off the back rail. Oh, he's got enough angle, or he'll try and go into it maybe.
Rammed it into the middle pocket. Mika Rooney will be thinking, well, I didn't mind going like that.
Yeah, I think that was his plan. Just drop the red in and leave the gap for the black. I'm not sure if he can still do that now. He might have to stand across the left side of the table.
So he's got the insurance policy with the fact that the black is right over the pocket. Should be really unmissable.
No, he thinks he can hold. He looks okay there.
Just taking a look.
Yeah, he's okay.
Polishes them off, as we fully expect him to do after such a great break. And that's what Simon Ward can do. And Simon Webb will have been fully aware of that, having spent much of his year so far watching Simon Ward do that. If you're just joining us here on Freesports, welcome along. We hope you're enjoying what you've seen so far, and we're hoping you're going to enjoy what should be a really good final. This is what you've missed. Simon Ward taken all the way by the Women's World Champion Mika Rooney. Great game that was. And Simon Webb capitalising on a few unlucky errors for Zach Wilkinson to get a pretty convincing 6-2 win in the end.
Yeah, could have been a bit closer than what it shows.
Just showing in a race to 6, it's so difficult to recover from even just one error, never mind 3 and off the break. Really gives yourself so little chance.
Yeah, you can't make any mistakes first to 6.
So with his,
He's getting lucky there.
oh, he's gone in off.
He caught that one perfect as well.
Oh, he had a couple of iffy breaks, did Simon Webb, in his semi-final against Zach, and that one was a much better break. You can just see there, just kill the yellow stone dead and dropped into the middle pocket. He's unlucky.
I think we'll see. I don't know if I want to push the board up and say what I think he's going to do. Because like I say, he does everything different. I think I'd go yellows, but I think he's going to go reds.
Maybe that's the tactics. So what you do and he'll do the opposite.
Looks like he's taking reds, yeah. Just going to try and clear this yellow from the bottom.
It's not going up too kindly for him, actually.
Yeah, I think he's okay. He can cut this red into the bottom left corner and just hold the white for the red that's kind of in the middle of the table. I'm pretty sure the red above the white now goes into this left corner. If it doesn't, then it is a little bit tricky. Oh, he's played high. Yeah, it does go.
He's played that nicely. And we you mentioned literally just as Simon Webb was about to break about how you have no room to make mistakes and in-off breaks will be punished, especially against a player of Simon Ward's quality, and only for him then to go in off. This really should be 2-0 in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, definitely. An in-off at this standard can cost you 3 frames. And it's just unfortunate really for Simon Webb, because he did hit the break really well. He was just unlucky for the white to make his way through the pack into the opposite centre. Simon will be looking at the black here, because the black is not straightforward, so he'd just be picking his pocket where he wants that black. We see it goes into the top left as we look. It's not easy to get the white onto it, so you might see Simon leave the black down into the bottom right corner here, possibly if he leaves the red on the hole for his last but one ball, or for his last ball, sorry, for the black.
That pretty nicely. So it looks like the red he's closest to now will be his ball onto the black.
Yeah, not quite sure what his plan is here, apart from land. No, he's playing the black into the same pocket as he just played that red into. I don't think there is a right or wrong way when the balls are situated in a certain way. It's just whichever way the player sees is the easier, whichever he thinks is the easiest route of going around them.
Yeah, of course, and this one is to make it 2-0. He might have preferred it to be a little less thin.
Yeah, he would have wanted to come a few inches further. He's got to watch he doesn't go off in the centre.
Yeah, he's just taking a look at that angle, isn't he? He's nervous about that.
He's kissing into the yellow, but he wants to make sure he doesn't slide off the side of it. Like that.
Oh, he's played that really, really well.
Yeah, it's a great shot.
That's a very, very good shot from Simon Ward, who's been on a really good run, as we mentioned, of late. You can see there, British Open final against Ronan McCarthy in 2017, that epic final against yourself, Ben, in February, and has just looked very, very good over the last 12 months.
Yeah,
or so.
well, you can see there he's got 2 finals and a semi-final in the last 6 months or so. So he's at the business end. And what was he lost to? Liam Dunster, great player. Like I say, there's the result I was saying to you about Zach Wilkinson earlier on in the Welsh Professional.
He's been in such good shape, and it was interesting, wasn't it, that he got to go really pretty far in the competition after that defeat in the World Championship final, because obviously it can go 2 ways. I know for yourself, you spoke about how difficult the Welsh event was for you because you're still on such a high after the Worlds, but it almost could have gone the opposite way for Simon, on such a low that it was tough to recover.
I just think that's Simon's nature. He doesn't let anything bother him. It'll just be another event out the way, and don't get me wrong, he would have loved to win it as much as anyone, but he's good like that. He can just put things behind him and just get on to the next one. Just business as usual. That's what I unfortunately couldn't do, because I was still on cloud 9 a little bit, but give myself a good talking to after that and back to business as usual.
Yeah, I was going to ask you at some point during that. It seems like an apt time to do it. How does being world champion suit you at the moment? I know you've done it before in the past, but world champion 2018 is a pretty good place to be.
Yeah, it was a bit much really for the first week or so, because everything was so busy, and phone didn't stop. A lot of exhibitions and a lot of coaching and things. But the last couple of weeks now has calmed down a little bit and back to normal, so it's kind of hard to get used to, because you can get caught up in it, and I think that's what I kind of did, because it's been a long time since I won the Worlds last time, and things have changed now since then, so it wasn't so much, you wasn't in the spotlight so much, so to speak, especially with the live TV and everything, and yeah, it was a different experience, but like I say, hopefully now it's back to business. So
I've seen it almost in recent years that when a world champion is crowned, particularly for the first time. I know it wasn't necessarily your first this time round, but it almost takes another year for that to almost fade away, and you just almost we've seen it in recent years. It was the case with I know we were mentioning with Jack Whelan when he won it in 2015. He's never quite risen to the same heights again, and it's almost seemed to have negatively affected him.
yeah,
For the time being, at least.
I think what it is nobody expects you to, because you're the world champion, you can't lose, kind of thing, and you know that yourself, that people think that, and that can put a bit of pressure on you, and that's why I say you just need to kind of say to yourself, it's just another event, it's gone now, and on to the next. It's hard, it's easier said than done, but that's what you need to do, and that's kind of what I've had to tell myself, because otherwise I won't be getting anywhere this year.
And so much to look forward to, of course, on the IPA circuit this year. Champions Cup, a new event, and I know we were chatting a little bit off there. You really like the idea of this one.
Yeah, it's really good. Like I say, Paul hasn't had live TV before, and not only, the odd like World Championship or Tour event on live TV, we're talking every single week, So this is great for the game, and for obviously the IPA, and they're doing some great work with Paul at the minute, and there's really exciting times ahead.
And Simon Ward, speaking of exciting times ahead, should be heading into a 3-zip lead here. He's made
That's perfect.
light work of these reds.
Great job.
And Simon Webb has played one shot in this match so far. He went in off the break, and as you mentioned in the last frame, in off the break at this level can cost you 3 frames. That's exactly what's happened.
Yeah, definitely.
This is Mr. Webb's recent history. As we've mentioned, there's a lot of almost extracurricular stuff around the pool circuit, but he's getting beaten by some really good players as well.
Yeah, they're good players in their own right. Rayborn here, but like I say, Andrew, who's we've seen last week, Lucas. Them players capable of beating anyone. And like I say, I don't think he gets much time to practice in all fairness, Simon, because he does a lot of work behind the scenes. But like we've seen the last game, he can, when he turns it on, he can play. He can beat anyone. So it's nice to see him playing the way he can play in that last game. I don't think
those 3 frames have absolutely sailed by. We've been playing less than 15 minutes of this final. The first match, don't forget. I don't think we'd even seen the end of the first frame by this point.
No, I think Simon's got his potting boots on. Odd.
It was yourself who said in the first match with Simon and Mika that because it's such a quick format and you're not really afforded any time to settle whatsoever. You think the first match that Simon Ward has just got through it, and he really seems to have found his stride now.
Yeah, it would have been a huge weight off his shoulders getting through that. I don't think, and all credit to Mika, but the quality of play Simon is, there wouldn't be a person on the planet, I don't think they would have expected him to lose that game. And Mika had her chances, and she could have taken it. She could have taken the game, and I think that's what obviously you could see. Simon was under a lot of pressure when she was coming back, and even when she took the lead to go 5-4. So he definitely would have been massively relieved to get through that game. So he'd probably thinking now, well, knuckle down and get the job done.
Simon Webb has gone from not quite bad to worse, but bad to bad as he's come up dry on his second break, and again he's got a decent split on them, but not a ball down. And you could be looking at the scenario here where we've played 4 frames and Simon Webb's had 2 shots.
Yeah,
and lost all 4.
That's the cruel nature of pool at times, unfortunately, and that's the exciting nature of it, because there's so many players who can do that, and it's not something that happens every now and again. It is a regular occurrence. It happens a lot, And
It's also what keeps it every game interesting as well,
yeah,
because
absolutely.
it's just as likely it could flip the other way, and Webb could then do it to Ward.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen that happen plenty of times. A couple of dry breaks from Ward, and all of a sudden it flips around. The momentum's with the other person. His only problem ball here is the black. I'm not sure if he can drop on the yellow in the centre that's near the black and leave the black to the opposite centre.
Yeah, he's used the red to
Yeah, he's played that
good
well.
effect there. There's the possible angle for the black.
I think he might just be able to get that with a touch aside maybe. Or if he can, I think if he can land where the red is to the right of the yellow on the centre, then he might be able to cut the black back into the centre.
It's a risky one if he looks to leave the white where the yellow is, because if he ends up slightly behind it, he's not got a shot.
Yeah. Yeah, this tells me the black goes the way he's played that. So he'll just be looking to drop this in now and either leave himself straight or leave himself an angle to roll into that red to the right of the yellow. Whichever he feels is the easiest place to pot the black. Looks like the red. I think he's not gone far enough there though. He's going to have to play this dead weight.
He'll be using the very, very edges of this pocket.
Yeah, into the edge of it. The ref just coming around to have a look, I think. He's a little bit tight. I think he's okay though.
It's the tiniest of angles, but that's all he needs.
Yeah.
It's 4-0 in the blink of an eye, really. Simon Webb will count himself very, very unlucky. But Simon Ward has been absolutely faultless so far. And that's what can happen. Reminder of what we've got coming up next week. Not in Twickenham as initially advertised. We return to the West Midlands and Solihull. Andy Lucas, Rob Donkin and Toby Bolts are your potential opponents, and indeed your opponent in the semi-final, Ben. And just talk me through that semi-final. Andy Lucas is, as you mentioned, a very tough draw. You're expecting a close game, I'm guessing?
Yeah, definitely. Played Andy a lot of times over the years. And actually, I don't know if I should mention this, but I will anyway. My first pro event final, I actually played Andy Lucas in the final, and I was 11-3 up and lost 13-11. I was only young then. And then after that I went on to win many more. But yeah, we've had some good games. He's a great player.
I was setting that one up as a bit of a grudge match. Almost like a bit of a Rocky style scenario.
I think he won the World Seniors, did he not, as well? Just got on Bradford, I think he did.
He had a very, very good run, if not winning it. Yeah, he's been in great form. So, yeah, he certainly could have had an easy draw. I will give you that.
Get the excuses in ready.
Not just the standard pro player gripes. And that's Simon's made a ball, made a couple of balls actually, which is the most important thing.
Yeah, they've come out nice. Just got to cue this long one in.
Has got one of the very best breaks on the tour, and you just see Simon's reaction just behind him there. He's like, oh,
Yeah,
that's another one gone.
I know. This should be gone.
And we could be actually looking at the quite almost bizarre scenario of it being 5-0 with Simon Webb having played 2 shots.
Just the break.
We always talk about how important the break is, but
I don't think he's had a shot apart from the break, has he? No. Yeah.
2 breaking dishes and 2 reverse dishes for Simon Ward.
And he's actually playing well as well, Simon Webb, and you know he'd be really gutted that he hasn't had a chance whatsoever. I think he's just being careful. Yeah, I think he can pot this red in the centre. I think he just wants to nudge into the yellow at the top, hold the white where the yellow is, and then he should be pretty straightforward. Unless he can just slide by the yellow. No, just kiss into it.
Played that really nicely. Just seems to have a just seems to have gone up a gear from his semi-final, really. He's playing very, very smoothly.
Yeah, he's a very good front runner.
Found out that the hard way initially in that World Final.
He's good when he's not in front, but he's very good when he is in front. We actually used to call him Boomerang because he won so many games from behind. He always used to come back. Played that lovely. That looks perfect. Stun it back.
Making it look very, very simple, which is what the very best players do. And Simon Ward is really representing his status as one of the very best players. It's been a very, very tough time to be Simon Webb, because Simon Ward is 5-zip to the good, and Simon Webb has visited the table twice just for a break. We will be having our very own break in a couple of moments. Do join us to see if Simon Webb can make this more of a match. He'd love to. It's coming up after the break.
The IPA Freesports Champions Cup pool is brought to you by Select Car Leasing. The IPA Freesports Champions Cup pool is brought to you by Select Car Leasing.
Welcome back to Neath in South Wales. And welcome back to Simon Webb's third shot of the match. This is quite a remarkable one. Simon Ward is 5-0 up.
He's got a ball.
And he's got a ball. And you just see his reaction there at the top right of your screen. Almost a sarcastic smile. He'll be internally really pleased about that, because if he'd have gone dry or gone in off again and been wiped away 6-0 while playing 3 shots, it would have been very tough to take. But he'll be pleased about that. And he's got a good split as well, Ben.
Yeah, he has. He's got a good chance of getting these. Tricky little opener, but should make this. Oh,
Wow.
that's what happens when you've been sat in your seat for about half hour and your opponent's potting everything under the sun.
All he wanted there was an easy opening ball.
Yeah, it was a little bit awkward queuing over. He should have still knocked it in, but like I say, it's not easy once you've been sitting there.
It's a
After
forgivable
onslaught.
one, isn't it?
Yeah. I think this could be right there on the wall, yeah.
Yeah, these yellows look extremely inviting. To be fair, I think it was a really good break from Simon Webb. You could have gone either colour, really.
Yeah, it was. I think this is the only tricky one he's got. Needs to play a gentle one here and hold. Either hold or nudge into the yellow and the red together. He's just nudged into it. I think that's the only shot you had to play. The rest should be pretty straightforward.
Oh, hasn't it been the most? It just does show how different this game can be. Week to week, absolutely perfect showcase. It's almost gone total reverse of what we've been used to seeing in the Champions Cup. Because quite often when the seed plays first, they get a comfortable win, they go through to the final. Second game can be a bit scrappy, and the final is always a close affair. Then the complete reverse in this one. We had a really close first game, a really breezy second, and well, breezy isn't the word for this final. And it's sadly for Simon Webb been something of a walkover, and he's only really had one chance to make it not.
Yeah, he should have got that one. He should have got this frame on the board. What happens after that, then nobody knows, but this is for the match.
And this is it. And Simon Ward wins it by 6 frames to 0. A ruthless performance from the Welshman, who has conquered Simon Webb brilliantly in the final. 6-0. We'll be hearing from our champion tonight after the break.
The IPA Freesports Champions Cup pool is brought to you by Select Car Leasing. The IPA Freesports Champions Cup pool is brought to you by Select Car Leasing.
Very warm welcome back to Neath, and with our winner of the night. That was a little bit different to your first game, shall we say? How much did you enjoy that one?
Yeah, that was great. That's why I like playing pool, to be honest. Every time I broke off, they were quite nice to finish, and then obviously Simon was unlucky off his breaks as well. Every time I had to play a half decent shot, I played it pretty well, and the rest of it was pretty easy.
Have you ever been involved in a game like that where the opponent had so few openings throughout the entire match?
Yeah, it happens to me quite a lot, actually. I think I've run 8 or 9 as my most in the match, but I say I'm pleased to get the win.
Have you ever been on the reverse of that?
No, I have no, luckily, but I'm sure it's going to come soon.
I feel like you might be filling up your luck meter a little bit too much. How much are you looking forward to the second round of this competition? You seem to have really enjoyed this this night tonight.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. As I say, the competition steps up a notch now next round, last 16. There's going to be a lot of good matches, so I think I'll hopefully can play well and see how I get on.
You seem to be in really, really good form throughout 2018, obviously the final of the Worlds, and then later on the Welsh and Scottish playing well. Do you feel this is the best you've played in your career?
Probably is, actually, results-wise anyway, and I seem to be getting good results even when I'm not playing well as well, so that helps. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to the rest of the season.
Yeah, can't wait to watch you. Congratulations tonight.
Thank you, cheers. Thanks.
And a reminder of how Simon claimed that win. Congratulations, mate. Terrific performance in the final from Simon Ward. That is how it ended after a great night in Neath. A terrific opening contest between the world finalist Simon Ward and the women's world champion Mickey Rooney, who gave a wonderful account of herself, nearly knocking out the favourite for tonight. Simon Webb rolled through against Zach Wilkinson, but was then rolled over in the final by our winner tonight, on home turf from Wales, Simon Ward. He advances through to the next round of the Champions Cup, and we can't wait to see him later on this season. A reminder of what we've got coming up next week in Solihull. Ben Davis, who was so gracious to join us on commentary tonight. Can't wait to watch him in action on the table next week against Andy Lucas and Rob Donkin versus Toby Bolt is our other semi-final. Thank you for watching tonight. As ever, it's been a pleasure to watch the pool on Monday nights on Freesports. We can't wait to join you next week in Solihull. But from Neath, good night.
The IPA Freesports Champions Cup pool is brought to you by Select Car Leasing.